Drowning deep in my sea of loneliness, broken, you're seven dying. Will you give it to me? It seems what's left of my human side is slowly changing in me. Will you give it to me? Looking at my own reflection, when suddenly it changes, violently it changes. Oh no, there is no turning back now. You've woken up the demon. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Open up your hate and let everyone to make. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You mother, get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You fucker, get up, come on, get down with the sickness. And this is the gift that has been given to me.
Screw Dion!
I can see inside you, the sickness is rising. Don't try to deny what you feel. Will you give it to me? It seems that all that was good has died and is decaying in me. Will you give it to me? It seems you're having some trouble in dealing with these changes.
Evidently, Coach Boogie was phenomenal.
Now the world is a scary place. Now that you've woken up the demon, the enemy. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Open up your hate and let it burn to me. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You mother, get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You fucker, get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Man, this is the gift that has been given to me.
Yeah, make my night a little better. Like the video and hit me up with some super chat. Because it's about to get lit tonight.
Oh, get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Open up your hate and then never win to me. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You mother, get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You fucker, get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Madness has now come over me.
I don't even have my microphone on. That's probably best. It's not wise to get on the internet, go live when you're pissed. By the way, my ex-wife texted me in that game. Right when things were, when it was clear to me that this was not going to end all too well, she starts saying, hey, this, that, and the other. And I warned. First give a warning. I said, hey, now ain't the time. She didn't listen. That's why I did the Mark Rogers post-game show from a Kroger parking lot. All right? Because I needed to put a little distance between me and the genesis of my offspring. T. Branch, thank you for the super chat. He said, let the anger flow. Let the anger flow. I didn't cover anything with this. But I was like, look, Bowling Green is a horrible team. And they are a horrible team. They're dog water. They're ranked 120 millionth in every stat. Offensive points scored, they're ranked 120 millionth. Defense, third down defense. They rank dead last in turnovers given up. They're averaging 4 turnovers a game. They've had 12 this year. Or maybe it's more than that. I know it works out to 4 turnovers a game. They ain't got no interest in holding on to the ball on offense. Well, until they come to Atlanta and Bobby Dodd, and they look like the Kansas City Chiefs. There wasn't one thing we did well. Let me look. I haven't even looked at the stats. Should we look at them together? Third down efficiency. They were 10 for 17. By the way, how many third down and 15 or longer did they convert on us tonight? How many times did they punt tonight? Boy, Jeff Collins would be proud. Jeff Collins is fucking thrilled right now. This is Jeff Collins' wet dream right here. He said, "Hey, I know how to make everyone forget about the Citadel. Watch this Bowling Green game." They had 438 yards of offense against us. Most of that came in the first half, honestly. About a minute into the third quarter, they had 319 yards of offense. They were just running the ball out. Or they were just running the clock out in the second half. This quarterback that I watched, that's not good. I'm not even exaggerating. I can throw a ball with more velocity. There's a few people who know me, Sea-Dog's one of them, that seen me throw a football. I can throw a football with more velocity than Bowling Green's quarterback. And I've got like a torn ligament in my shoulder, by the way. And I have a pulled rhomboid major, evidently. I can't even sleep at night. My shoulder's so messed up. But I could throw it better than that guy. Threw for 263 yards. 263 yards. Number 4 looked like a god among men for Bowling Green, didn't he? He looked like a god among men. I think number 4 broke about 1 trillion tackles tonight. You know, everything we thought we can't just have like back-to-back good games or something. You know, we can't just keep improving. It's got to be this bullshit. I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. Being a Georgia Tech fan ain't for the faint of heart. It takes a grown-ass man to be a Georgia Tech fan. All these people that have been chirping and somehow some people have got my number and been texting me, people commenting. Yours don't swing low enough to do what I'm about to do, which is get on the internet after a huge upset loss and address it. That's what we're going to do tonight. How many yards rushing did they have? 175 yards rushing, which isn't that impressive. Most of that came from number 4. 3.9 yards a rush. They had 113 yards of penalties. This game would have been way worse. The score would have been way worse.
I'm about to raise the roof in this party, can't stop.
Don't you love ESPN, by the way? They have these embedded videos that they wait until you've been on the page for like 5 minutes, and then it plays an ad. I'm glad ESPN had to fire 80 people. I'm glad Disney's taking a bunch of L's. I'm glad Disney lost $250 million last quarter, whatever. F Disney. Putting an ad. I'm trying to say something, Disney. You're getting in the way. Step aside. Grown men are on the internet. Stupid ass mouse, goofy ass ears, getting in the way. If they didn't have 100, how many drinks deep am I? 0. I wish I had a breathalyzer with me. I could show you. I'm as sober as you can get. Maybe it would be easier if I was if I could blow a .25 right now. If they didn't have 113 yards of penalties, they would have scored 50 points on us. Time of possession. Listen to this stat. I'm not toasted, by the way. See if I can get real close. Do I look good? Do you want me to do a field sobriety? You want me to walk a line? What do you want me to do? I mean, I don't know what, I'm passionate. You want me to do the Stagmus test? To follow my own finger? I mean, what do you want me to do? I'm sober as a judge right now. All right, and that's why I'm so pissed. If I was if I was 3 sheets to the wind, I probably wouldn't care. I'd be a Georgia fan then. Boy, they're lucky tonight. Time of possession. 42 minutes, 45 seconds for Bowling Green. Now, guys, don't type this if you've already seen it, okay? In fact, let's take a poll. Let's take a poll. Oh, crap, I about shut down my own stream. What do you think Georgia Tech's time of possession was today? I don't even know how to spell possession right now. I feel possessed. Georgia Tech's possessed by the ghost of Collins past, evidently. Speaking of possession. I'm a math person. I don't know how to spell possession. We're just going to call it POS. Georgia Tech's TOS. Time of possession was greater than 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes. Let me know what you think. They had it for 42 minutes. Let's look at Georgia Tech stats. Third down efficiency, we were 2 for 8. 2 for 8 sounds like what? That sounds like my little league batting for the night. 2 for 8. 1 for 3 on third down. We had 417 yards of offense. 348 passing yards. A lot of that came on the first 2 drives and the last drive. 38 unanswered points. Ooh, that stings. 38 unanswered points. Absolute dog water. And that's not, look, I love these kids. I'll support this team and I'll support these players till I die. But 22 people show up for a game, not a single one of them are ready to play. That ain't on them. I got news for you. That ain't on them. That's coaching. And I hate to say it, but it's true. I guess we should be just shitting our britches if Key is happy with how practice goes. What did he say this week? Oh, Kevin Scherer is the greatest linebackers coach that he knows. He's the greatest linebackers coach. Why doesn't he look like it? You guys are right. I see it in the chat. I see it in the chat. We'll close the polls. We'll close it. End poll. Why didn't it show me the result? Yeah, y'all know. We had the ball for 17 minutes. 17 minutes. An episode of SpongeBob is longer than 17 minutes. I could watch the episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob gets the seahorse, and I would spend more time watching that episode than Georgia Tech was possessing the ball offensively tonight. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I hear people outside. I don't know if they're reacting to me or not, but F them. They need to hear it too. If they want to come in and hear this, they can hear it too. They live here. They're going to hear it all night. "17 minutes and 15 seconds. I've taken dumps that lasted longer than 17 minutes and 15 seconds, especially after Waffle House. Let's go to the box score. Haynes King, where was he tonight? I mean, let's think back through this game. Think. How did this go so wrong? We came out. What happened play one? Like 50-yard touchdown pass. We get a good return. Yeah, I do take 19-minute dumps because I eat like a grown man, B-Bean. Something you wouldn't know anything about. How'd Florida look today, by the way, B-Bean? You should be right in here with me. You know how it feels. Except he shouldn't feel anywhere as bad as I do. Kentucky's a good team. In fact, let me go look up Bowling Green. Bowling Green 2023 stats. Because I don't take my word for it. This is like reading Rainbow. Reading WreckTalk. Don't take my word for it. I'm an idiot. I thought Georgia Tech was going to win today. Even at halftime, I thought that. Points a game. You know what they're ranked offensively? Bowling Green's 122nd of 133 teams. That's the offense that just beat our brains in today. 122nd. Defensively, they're ranked 104th. 104th. So on average, as a team then, if we average those numbers together, let's just give their team a little ranking here. 122 plus 104 divided by 2. They're averaging 113th out of 133 teams. 113th. Looked like we were playing. I mean, what's the best team in the country right now? Or what's the best team in the NFL? I mean, were we playing the Steelers tonight or today? And, oh, man, so glad we wore the Black Watch jerseys today. Man, the advantage of that is that maybe if no one knows anything about Georgia Tech, they won't think it was Georgia Tech getting their brains beat in. It looked like they were wearing the Saints jerseys. And I guess if it was a night game and the lights went out, we'd know what number people were because they glow in the dark. Woo! That's amazing. Thank you for the super chat, Face Zach. Appreciate it. Says, I don't care what anyone says. Me either. I've run out of F's to give tonight. This is a point where Thacker needs to be fired. We're going to address that. We can say the D is inexperienced all day long, but this is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. 122nd ranked offense just scored 38 unanswered points. Let me repeat that. The 122nd ranked offense out of 133 teams scored 38 unanswered points. Coaching. That's coaching. talked about it in the post game with on Mark Rogers' channel. That was a little bit rawer take. That's when I had just gotten a huge argument with somebody. I'd shot everyone a bird on 20 West that I could because they're all dumb. They don't know I'm trying to get home and get on the internet. They won't get out of the way. But I don't know if they showed it on TV, on the sideline. And I'm sure Key must have known this sounds like a fake rant. You're a fake rant, B-Bean. You might not care about your team enough to get on the internet and rant about it. But the game ended like 2 hours ago. And I can't yell at the top of my lungs because someone's going to knock my door in. People live around me. Coach Key was talking to Andrew Thacker. There was some dead ball. I don't know. I couldn't hardly pay attention to the game because everyone had to pee 40 times during that game for some reason and got in my way. He had his little play sheet, whatever good that did, covered his mouth, and he grabbed, I don't have a microphone on this, but you know their headset has a microphone, and he pulled that little microphone up because no one needs to hear what Andrew Thacker has to say tonight. And he about ripped his headset off, and I legitimately thought they might get in a physical altercation. And Thacker just sat there and took it. He just sat there and took it because he knew. He knew what he did. 38 unanswered. We got every bit of improvement that we saw in the first 4 games was nowhere to be seen. Defensive line back to their old ways, getting stood up. I mean, I literally saw defensive linemen getting stood up and they're looking around. Like, hey, where's the ball going? I ain't got no idea. Oh, it's 15 yards down the field. That's nice. When we blitzed, we couldn't get to the quarterback. We couldn't stop the run. We couldn't tackle. And every time they threw, I've never seen wide receivers that open. Like, I looked at Papa WreckTalk. I was like, can you pinch me? This isn't real. I'm dreaming, right? I've never seen anyone that wide open. It's going to be fun going around looking at I'm going to have to rewatch this game. I'm going to have to rewatch it, which is going to hurt my soul. I've never seen wide receivers that open. And even if we did cover them, they make some Knights of Columbus, Beard of Zeus catch in the end zone for a touchdown, which good on them. I mean, here's the thing. I don't even know what this is. Am I bruised or something? Yeah, the Tantor video will be epic. Tantor's right. Tantor is a freaking genius. Although he was praising us after Wake Forest last week. I don't think that game could have gone any worse than it did. And yeah, let's talk about the fire Andrew Thacker stuff. I would maybe be on board with that if we didn't play just as bad on offense. Like I don't know what happened with the kick that got fumbled, the punt that got fumbled, because 2 quite large people got in my field of vision because they decided to get to the game 2 hours late. So I have no idea what happened. Special teams was awful. Offensively, I mean, B-Bean calls it out. We scored 14 points in the first quarter, 6 in the third, 7 in the fourth. The punt, I think, hit one of the personal protectors. Well, that's nice. Maybe they can punt it better because Shanahan Shanahan hit a punt that I could have punted it better tonight. It was like a sidewinder. It looked like he had what were those little spinners? It looked like he just threw a spinner out there, except it was a punt. Is this real or fake? It's real. Like, I go to these games. Why do people not think this is real? If it weren't, do you not think I'm an actual Georgia Tech fan? Do you not think that I care about the team? I do 4,000 videos a week on it, and I just took this. I said this on Mark Rogers' show. This might be the worst loss I've ever seen, because at least with Collins, I expected it. I expected it. I didn't expect this. We think you are not surprised by what? If I legitimately thought we were going to lose this game, I would have took Bowling Green on the money line at plus 850 and got 8.5 times my investment. I mean, what do I have to do? Like, tear up everything in my house with my daughter here and terrorize her for you guys to think that I'm actually upset? But what is firing Thacker going to do? Then who are we going to name DC? Kevin Scherer for the fantastic linebacker play we've had? I thought we would come out and play our best game. Honest to God's truth, that's what I thought. I thought against the 122nd ranked offense, we wouldn't give up 38 unanswered points. That's what I thought. But WreckTalk was wrong again, wasn't he? And then I have to watch all these people wearing Colorado bullshit everywhere in Atlanta. Like, why? Why are you wearing Colorado stuff? I'll give you a little. I should be wearing Colorado stuff. I was born in Colorado, Fort Carson. That's where I was born. Evans Army Hospital. You don't see me wearing Colorado stuff in Atlanta. Yeah, Colorado decided to play today, unlike Georgia Tech. Players acted like all they had to do was roll the ball out. Coleman is responsible for this awful D-line too. I'm about to raise the roof in this party, can't stop me. I heard the ad the first time, ESPN. Like, I can't just have stats up without ESPN rolling an ad. That should be illegal. Oh yeah, I'm sure we had a ton of recruits there too to watch that ass whooping we took. That's great. Say what you want, but Dion fills the seats in Boulder. Georgia Tech has no sidewalk fans. Embarrassing. Why would we have sidewalk fans? I'm not here to talk about Dion, by the way. It's just something I noticed that pissed me off, like everything today. Leading receiver was Dominique Blaylock. Had 7 receptions for 131 yards. I mean, 69 yards of rushing. 69 yards of rushing. Let me ask you something, B-Bean. Where's Deion Sanders in 3 years, you think? Maybe Florida should have hired Deion, B-Bean. Do you think Florida should have hired Deion? $69 yards of rushing on 21 attempts. Jamal Haynes was a leading rusher with 45 yards rushing on 8 attempts. I mean, if you can't get push against Bowling Green, I'll just say this. we had all of these. What was our number one goal coming into the season? What was our number one goal? Make a bowl. We need to make a bowl. Now we have to win all the games that we think are most winnable, like Virginia, Boston College. You can't lump Syracuse in there with them. I don't even know. I haven't even looked at any other games. I've been so mad. My steering wheel took a beating on the way out of Bobby Dodd. Let me look. How did Syracuse do today? They got beat 31-14. Let me look at the rest of our schedule. But I will say this: if we play like we played today, we won't win another game. If we play like, not only will we not win another game, but if we play like we played today, there's not a team we can beat. Thank you for the super chat, Face Zach. We can't crap on King. Our offense had zero momentum. We couldn't stay on the field. King had pressure every second. For how bad we played, King played okay. King did not play okay. I will disagree with you there. He threw some really bad interceptions. 2 not good interceptions. He overthrew several people that were open, that killed drives. Oh, look at this, guys. Hold on. I can't get away from it. Let me make sure I'm not doxing myself with anything I have on my tabs. What's this? I get it. I'm not here to talk about Dion. I'm not. By the way, how stupid does he think I am? And you are. You can't buy these right now. They're $67, first of all. And you have to pre-order them. And they come out in December. Get away from me. God damn it. We have to beat Boston College, Virginia, Syracuse. That gets us to 5. And then we'd have to beat... And those are not givens by any stretch of the imagination. Then you got to find a way to pick up 2 games between Georgia, Clemson, North Carolina, and Miami. And the 2 most winnable games are probably Clemson and North Carolina to sniff a bowl. That's what would have to happen. Not likely, given what we saw today. I do need an ad blocker. I'm not using Edge. I use Google Chrome. What's going on, Eric? There was something I saw I wanted to address, though. Kevin Lear. I'm here and I got a lot of inappropriate things to say. Well, say them. This is the place. We'll have our little group therapy session right here. The Georgia Tech group therapy session. I mean, really, at the half of that game, I thought we're going to come out, we're going to make adjustments. And can I ask you guys this? Why is it that Georgia Tech is the only team in the country that can't make adjustments? Like, every other team can make adjustments, and that's checkmate. That's a wrap on what we're doing offensively or defensively. Turned out today we scored 14 points, and we were like, maybe they made adjustments. After we scored 14, the game was going exactly like I thought it would. And we were like, oh, shit, we ain't going to figure that out. There wasn't nothing to figure out. And to me, it wasn't even adjustments. They just pushed us around up front. Number 4 got to do his ballerina tap dance for 10, 15 yards every play. We had them 3rd and 16, I think, in the third quarter, with a quarterback that looked fatter than me. And I'm 250 pounds. And they ran a designed quarterback draw on 3rd and 16 and converted. Kevin Sherr is the best linebacker coach, though. I think we do miss Coach Boogie. Maybe we should have made Coach Boogie our DC. Maybe Seymour should be our DC. Let's look at Marshall's defensive stats, by the way. If you don't know, Coach Seymour is Marshall's defensive coordinator. See how well they're doing. Let's see. Well, these stats don't really make sense to me, to be honest with you. I think the last time I looked, they were like 30th or something in total defense. Biggest Tech fan in the world here. We need to change the offense to modern veer. We can't run the ball. Modern veer. Look at Indiana's. By modern veer, I guess you're talking about what Gus Malzahn does, what he did at Auburn, and what he's doing at Central Florida. I don't know that's the. I don't know that that's the answer. And like I said, I mean, we're not going to be able to fire Thacker now. It's not clear to me necessarily that that's the answer. I know that Coach Key was not happy with him today. How many times did they punt today? Does anyone know? Because that's not a stat that's on there. I mean, it seemed like they only punted twice. Steer clear of the veer. I don't care what we need to do, like or what it is. We just need to do it. Like, as a Georgia Tech fan, like, we've had to go through Jeff Collins and getting beat by the Citadel and getting beat by Northern Illinois and seeing Jahmyr Gibbs be a generational player and go somewhere else and see Jeff Sims get absolutely ruined beyond any recognition. He got benched at Nebraska. Get beat by Virginia last year, even though that was what it was with quarterbacks going down. And then this. Like, can we just get something? Just something. Like, and I don't know that the answer is just fire everyone either. Like, I wish there was a simple answer for what happened today. And a lot of times, like, after a loss, there's at least something I can glean from it and be like, well, at least this. Or, maybe that'll focus us against a really good team in Miami next week. No, I don't feel that way at all. Miami's on a bye. I watched Miami film. Miami might score 80 on this defense from what I saw. Miami's got 3 wide receivers that all have the talent, like NFL talent. Tyler Van Dyke's looked really good. Their offensive line is really good, and their defensive line is elite. Their defensive line can get pressure on good offensive lines rushing 3. It's not going to be good. Has a post game press conference been released yet? Maybe we'll watch that. Now, that being said, and I've been more negative than I've ever been on YouTube tonight, I'm gonna be a Georgia Tech fan no matter what. But this is getting old. I guess they haven't released a post-game press conference. I wouldn't want to release it either. Let me see what is on there. Nope. I mean, should we should we just be like, well, anytime Keys seems jovial in a press conference. Thank you again, Fazak, with a $2 super chat. Can't fire Thacker now after this season, maybe. Yeah, it's definitely something we need to evaluate after this year. Now, my volume is low. Hold on. Oh, sorry. I've been holding, like, adjusting my microphone, and I accidentally cut it down. I apologize. There were some quotes in the AJC. Yeah. Throw those in. They'll release it later when everyone's asleep. All right. Quilbert coming in. Quote, unquote. Now, who's saying this? Key, I'm assuming? As anyone that saw, I guess, that game knows, it's an embarrassing display of football on our part. Yeah, you think? An epic of failure as you could possibly have. All three phases, all aspects of the program. And this was what I was saying on Mark Rogers. Was there nothing leading into this game that made you think something is awry? Because, like I said, I mean, we were not ready to play. We didn't succeed. Bad football. It's all three phases. It's not one phase. It's not one person. It's the entire program. That starts with me. It's on me to make changes to this thing, to get this thing fixed. This week, we definitely have to take a hard look in the mirror. We got to figure out something. Don't know exactly what it's going to be, but we have to figure something out. We can't have lulls like that in the middle of the game. I mean, it wasn't a lull. Like, if by lull you mean the entire football game, yes. We got to start fast, finish fast, and got to play fast throughout the whole game. Here's the thing, is I don't know what Tech's aversion is to, like, playing consistently. Like, how was it that we came out and scored 14 points in, like, 4 minutes, and then we couldn't, like, how does that happen? I mean, they might have one player that would start for Georgia Tech, maybe one or two. The line on this game was 21.5 or 20.5. Yeah, we had a 2-hour lull in that game. Face Zach coming through clutch tonight with the $2 super chat. It wasn't a trap game. Team just felt like usual. It didn't even feel like usual, though, to me. We haven't looked like that all year. We haven't looked like that since Jeff Collins was here. That's what's head-scratching about it. I mean, Bowling Green was 1-3 coming into this game. Bowling Green got beat by Liberty 34-24. Their only win is against Eastern Illinois Panthers, who would get beat by the Buford High School football team. They beat them 38-15. They lost to Michigan, and they got blown out by Ohio. And yet, like, it's kind of terrifying. Like, if it's some systemic friggin' entire program thing, like, what hope do we have? To be fair, there would be several college teams that would lose to Buford. Maybe. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I just don't know how we can regress that much in 1 week. Even though we won against Wake, I felt good that our defensive line looked a lot better. And it's like in minute. This is what I think happened. It's like in Men in Black where they have that memory erase stick that like flashes a laser at you. It's like that happened to our entire coaching staff and players. And we're like, oh yeah, I totally forgot how to play football. I mean, there wasn't a play they couldn't dial up. I mean, like, someone makes sense of all this. Make sense of it. Yeah, and I'm not going to say there's no hope for the rest of the season. I mean, I'm still going to watch it. I'm still going to go to all the home games. Like, I love these kids. This isn't a slight at any kid or any player or any of that. I feel like I've made it very clear when 22, and we probably played 40 kids today, when 40 kids have trouble playing football, that's a coaching issue. It's a coaching issue. And so whatever, Key needs to do to figure that out, if he needs to rip up more headsets off of coaches. And that's the thing with Thacker that I don't understand, with just how bad the defense has been at times this year. You think about how good Georgia Tech looked on defense last year. What we did to North Carolina. What we did to Pitt, who was a decent team last year. What we did to Duke. Those were all 9-win teams. And then in one off season, we can't get pressure on a quarterback. We can't cover. And I thought that there's only one kid, I think, in our secondary rotation that isn't a 4-star, and that's Clayton Powell-Lee. And he was like an All-American, freshman All-American last year. Was it Coach Boogie? Was it A.C. Lee, Charlie Thomas, and Keon White? I mean, was that just all our defense was last year? Like, I don't think so. Press conference dropped. Let's watch it together. Where is it? Here it is. It's only 8 minutes. That's a shocker. Let's see.
Our part.
I'm not even going to show the video. I'm just going to listen to it, if that's okay. Or maybe I can do. Let's see. Hold on. Y'all are asking me to do things while I'm upset. They didn't ask you, WreckTalk. Shut up. All right. I wanted to do this. You make me do this.
As epic of a failure as you could possibly have. All 3 phases, all aspects of the program, we didn't succeed. Bad football. And like I said, it's all 3 phases.
I'll be honest with you. I would probably, this might be where it's appropriate, and I'm covering it up. Take this Coke bottle and just throw it at someone in the front row. That's what I would do. I'm not here to advertise Coca-Cola. I'm pissed. Get this out of my face. Whose bright idea was it to wear black and hot sunny day? That's not even the dumbest part. Those uniforms glow in the dark. Man, I'm glad we had glow-in-the-dark jerseys today. That way, if there was a solar eclipse, we would know what was going on the field. When's the next solar eclipse supposed to be? That's when we need to break out these jerseys at 3:30 in the freaking afternoon.
It's not one phase. It's not one person. It's the entire football program, and that starts with me. That's on me to make changes to get this thing fixed. Right?
Here's the thing with making changes to fix things, and anyone who's like been married knows this. You don't have to wait until the wheels fall off the bus to make changes. You don't have to wait until you're in dire straits and you embarrass yourself to make changes. You can make them before the failure occurs. That's an option.
Right. Inconsistency from week to week is not acceptable. And, the lack of everything in this football game, from being able to run the football, being able to stop the run, being able to get off the field on third downs, stay on the field on third downs.
How embarrassing. Like, when you talk about what went wrong in this game, you have to be like, our ability to run, our ability to prevent them from running at will, our ability to pass, their ability to pass at will. Jeez.
Red area, being able to score in the red area, turnovers, time of possession, field possession.
By the way, 42 minutes to 17 minutes, time of possession differential. Have you guys ever seen a time of possession that out of whack? Like, I don't even remember seeing that kind of out of whack time of possession when we ran the triple option, and that was really the strategy. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. We don't I'm not look, it's not look, I'm upset, but I'm not going to go with you're not going to hear me say oh, Georgia Tech sucks, everything's whatever. I mean, it looked like it today, but yeah, hold on 1 second. Give me a second, guys. Let me flip screens here.
Lack of big plays, lack of explosives and big plays, and lack of being able to limit them, sustaining blocks, tackling. So we've got major work to do, and we've got to stop this. We've got to fix this ASAP. All right. Questions?
Does a game like this, where there was a lot of maybe missed assignments, missed tackles, does that lead to maybe evaluating personnel that you put on the field?
Yeah.
Hold on, what screen is the right one? Do you think maybe the fact that you can't tackle at all on defense contributed to looking embarrassing today? Yes, that was definitely a contributing factor, but also our inability to stop the pass was equally as problematic. Jeez. Faze Zach again with the super chat. Appreciate it, man. Bad defensive coordinating, horrible uniform selection, Georgia Tech losing to a community school, inconsistent offense. What else happened that we are used to? I can't do a very good Coach Key impression because for his size, he has an unnaturally high voice that I can't do. Yeah, I'm listening to it now. Let me switch screens.
Everything's evaluated. Everything will be evaluated.
What were the main issues defensively?
Now, how would you answer this question? What were the main issues defensively? Well, it's kind of difficult to narrow it down to just one issue. seeing as how they pretty much did what they wanted to. I would be so like, I don't know how he's doing this right now. I know it's recorded, but I don't know how he did this press conference, because I'd get canceled for the answers I'd give. I'll just put it that way.
Like I said, couldn't get off foot on third down, penalties, tackling, missed assignments, just being a cohesive, coherent football team.
He looks shell-shocked. Face Zach with a $2 super chat. What were the main issues defensively? Thacker. I hope someone asked him about Thacker. Hey, it looked like you were about to physically assault Andrew Thacker. Did that end up happening off camera and off the field? Mystic Gaming with the $5 super chat says, what we are missing on defense is an enforcer we don't have, a Pat Swilling or a Boz. While coaching is a big factor, we have no player who is a badass. Yeah, I mean, that's true. The thing is, though, we do have playmakers in the secondary. And even when the guy didn't have time to throw, and the few times we did get pressure, people were open. I don't think let me ask you this. From what we saw today, is Tech's defense one player away from being substantially different? I don't think so.
I guess your team played really well last week, and then they come back and obviously have a clunker today. And just kind of, what do you put that on, like the kind of ups and downs still that you're seeing from week to week?
Yeah.
So that's a nice way of asking. You played like ass. What do you attribute that to?
At the end of the day, it's on me. I'm the head football coach. Right? It was a failure in every aspect of the program today. Right? At the end of the day, that's on me. That's on me to evaluate it. It's on me to make decisions. It's on me to get them prepared. It's on me to be able to fix this.
Yeah, and look, I appreciate him. I mean, that's really the only thing you can do in a press conference like this if you're the head coach, is say, look, it's on me, take the responsibility, and good on him, for doing that. But correct it, right? You can't. Here's what can't happen, okay? We can't have 3, 4, 5 press conferences that end up like this. Like if you had, I mean, I hate to make the comparison, but this is what ran old last time. If all we hear is, yep, I got to correct it, you correct it then. Actions. We need to look infinitely better next week.
After a performance like this, where is your confidence level in the defensive staff right now?
Ooh. I have a feeling he might get testy over that one. I don't know. I'll be the interpreter. Are you going to fire Andrew Thacker? Was really what that question was.
Yeah, I've got the same confidence in them as everybody else. Like everything, we'll watch the tape, evaluate the tape, sit down and meet with everybody tomorrow. There's no lack of confidence in staffing people.
There's no lack of confidence? Hey, you just got blown out by one of the worst group of 5 schools in the country. Yeah, I have a ton of confidence in this staff. Yeah, I know there's going to be, Lou, you can do it. Hell, we deserve to be shit on today. I mean, it's true. We play like ass. I'd be doing the same thing. If Georgia would have lost to Auburn today and we would have won, I'd probably be in Lou's chat talking shit. It is what it is. When you get on YouTube and you talk trash to people, this is the other end of it, right? This is the other side of the coin. And it's kind of like in South Park when the preacher's like, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh. A lot more taketh recently, though. A lot of taketh, Lord. That's what I feel like as a Tech fan. You know, we're given the Wake Forest win, and we look much improved on offense, and they taketh, the football gods taketh the defense. A lesser man could not do this, by the way. I want credit for that. A lesser man could not come on here and do this.
Coach Key.
I agree, Lou. Lou says, seriously, this is an unacceptable loss, even in year one. Yeah, it is. Lou, I don't know if you were in here. Bowling Green's ranked 122nd in offense, total offense, out of 133 teams. And they imposed their will on us today. 38 unanswered points. It is unacceptable. It's 100% unacceptable.
This may sound kind of funny, but is it possible to have too much success too early on in a game like this where you score twice quickly?
Yeah, that is funny to ask a Georgia Tech head coach, do you think too much success is the problem? Yeah, man, that's the problem with Georgia Tech. Too much success we've been having. Golly. Hey, do you think that the success that you've had over the past 5 years has been too much? Who asked that, by the way? Was that AJC guy? Hey, man, you just got beat by one of the worst group of 5 teams in the country. Do you think success is the problem? That guy should be fired for asking that.
And then go cold for better part of 3 periods?
No, not at all. I mean, those two series were outliers in this game. Those were outliers in this game. They just happened to be the first 2 drives.
Yeah, that game would have been different had we not scored 14 points in the first 4 minutes. That was guys. We're not taking the right thing away from this game. What we should be taking away is we've been too successful. We were too successful too early with scoring 14 points. That's the problem. That might go down in history. I'm going to have to clip that as the stupidest question I've ever heard asked in a press conference. And most of them are. But that has to take the cake. Okay, I can fix it. Sorry. It's like, I don't know, my microphone is sentient. And it's like, you need to stop this. You're about to embarrass yourself. Well, I'm not going to embarrass myself any more than my team did today. Stop trying to silence me. Hold on. Is there like some oil or something on this? Is it still quiet? Yeah. It like changed modes on me. Hold on. There we go. All right, that should be better. That should be improved. Let's see how Key answers this.
There's been some difficulty keeping momentum into the 3rd and 4th quarter this season. Anything you attribute that to?
We didn't have momentum in the 3rd series. I mean,
Well, we didn't have momentum in the 3rd series or the 4th or the 5th or in fact, I'll write, because we're Tech people, I'll write out how you could represent that mathematically. How many offensive plays did we run? We'll just estimate it to be 100. You know, that many series. That many.
there wasn't momentum 3rd quarter, 4th quarter, 2nd quarter. There wasn't momentum really other than one play to start the game and one drive after that.
Is it really momentum if it was just one play?
So, as I said, this isn't a momentum thing. This is a playing football thing.
Agreed. Wreck looking very Chadish in defeat. Why? Because I have a collared shirt on. Rick, aren't you a Georgia fan? Can you just identify yourself as to what fan base you are so I can address that appropriately?
Coach, one bright spot is Eric Singleton. Scored a touchdown in his 5th consecutive game. What have you seen from him? Just true freshman playing at this level.
Yeah.
So that question's kind of like, okay, let's call the dogs off. No, the Mickey Mouse sunglasses, they're not Mickey Mouse. That's kind of like teeing one up for Key, like, hey, Eric Singleton Jr. is good, right?
He's a dynamic playmaker. He runs. He makes runs good routes, makes the tough catches. He does his job.
What do you mean, bruh? I've already sufficiently chastened Disney and Mickey Mouse, so I don't know where that's coming from.
Did you think there were effort issues as well today, or do you think it was execution or coaching, or like what do you put it on?
Yeah, it was everything. Like I said, Kelly, it was from top to bottom. And when you go back and watch film, 95% what you're doing is confirming what you've already seen, what you've been addressing. But when you have some epic failures like we did today, there's some major things we have to get fixed.
I mean, I don't envy the man's job because, like, what would you start addressing? Like, what would be the first? It's kind of like when you're evaluating your life and taking inventory of your life. Like, you try and work on things in the order they're killing you. What is the order that things are killing this Georgia Tech team? You're saying bruh because they're asking about Eric Singleton. We don't care. A freshman wide receiver shouldn't be talked about. No, I mean, it is a little disingenuous to just say he's a freshman wide receiver, but I know exactly what you're saying. What did you say, D4? He looks like he's going to cry. You take that back. He looked like he was going to cry after Louisville. He just looks disappointed today. That's what Papa WreckTalk looked like after every bad decision I've made in my life.
How do you hope your team
Just like this. That's what he looked like.
responds to this?
Well, I hope they respond the right way. I mean, we have a conference game next week on the road. The only choice is to respond the right way, and that's to go out and to fix the problems, to own it. There's no pointing fingers here. Right? There's none of that. You got to own this, and you have to own a game like that, and be able to look yourself in the mirror. And that's, like I said, that starts with me.
I would probably ask him, what specifically do you think you could have done differently this week? Like, what specifically did you not do if you're owning all of this that you should have done? That's what I would have asked. Now, they probably would have said that's the end of your question asking career, but
After scoring on those first 2 drives, the offense had a hard time finishing drives, and specifically when you had the 3rd and 4th down with Haynes had the 2 sneaks, with less than a yard to go. Was there any thoughts of using the running back there in maybe some misdirection, that type of thing?
It was that far. It was that far.
it started that far. It started that far. What are you talking about?
Can't sneak a football that far. We don't deserve to win a football game.
Oh, okay. I agree. I agree. You should be able to get this much. Ask any woman I've ever been with. But I would have rather handed it off to the running back. Especially when we were, like, struggling to get push. And the weird thing is, like, Haynes King, it's like he just kind of fell on his face there. I don't know how well y'all could see that from watching it on TV, but he just kind of fell over like me after I eat Mexican food.
It seemed like the running back got most of his yards on broken tackles and yards after contact. And
Balls that bounced outside, yeah.
I guess how frustrating is it to be? This has, I guess, been the one continual issue you guys have had has been getting.
Yeah, how frustrating was it that number 4 ran all over you? Nah, man, I'm actually pretty thrilled about it. Like, how is he supposed to answer that? How frustrating is that game today? It's incredibly frustrating. You stop asking me questions you know the answer to. Slim Shady Canes with his all caps lock. Hi, Rec. How are you, buddy? I hope you're having a good day. Let me tell you something. You better pray Tech doesn't sneak one in on you next week. I will be insufferable. But that's okay. No, I mean, that's a pretty tame comment coming from Slim. I would have expected, I mean, hell, I would have been a little more at me than probably Slim was there. What's going on, Slim?
Getting guys to the ground after contact, especially in the middle of the field, rushing.
Their side. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's hard to tell when you're saying, like, the run game going horribly wrong. Be more specific. Are you talking about them, you talking about their run game being really good or ours being bad?
Yes. Yeah. That's not one of the issues. That's as big of an issue as there is. Being able to stop the run. I mean, you can't stop the run. You're going to have problems for the whole time. I mean, it's the clock will continue to get bled out like it did, and maintain possession, and I mean, falling forward for numerous first downs and big plays.
Well, it wasn't just falling forward. I mean, they broke 4 or 5 tackles was also the problem. Rec, I'll pass on trolling you tonight. I understand this was a shitty loss. No, I mean, you can troll me if you want. It's okay. It's deserved. This is what happens when you're a guy on YouTube who does college football. I mean, hey, I do it. It is what it is. I've gotten used to this kind of thing. I've been a Georgia Tech fan a long time.
So, another major area of concern, a major area that will be addressed.
Yeah, it is. It is going to be hard to troll me when I'll probably agree with most of what's said. That's true.
Coach, like you mentioned, you have a big game next week, conference play. How do you reset? How do you personally?
Yeah, I mean, no different than any game. I mean, every game has things you have to fix, have to change. Sometimes it's more than others. Sometimes, things are more glaring than others. I mean, there's problems that need to be fixed, and that's what we will do. Beginning tonight and tomorrow, and we have to be able to get ready to play and use this as
Yeah, use it as what? I would also struggle to finish this sentence. Use it as, I mean, probably what I would say is remember how this feels. And I've been at this point in life, I'm about to get philosophical on you. I've been at points in life where I'm like, I never want to feel this way again. I put myself in this position with my shitty decisions. And whatever I have to do to never feel this way again, that's what I'm going to do. That would be my message to the team. I think this is a Mike Saha dissection. If you ever compare me to Mike Saha, and most people don't know what you're talking about, but I know what you're talking about, we're going to throw hands, okay? Or maybe you'll send Mike Saha. That would be the ultimate troll. Like if you sent Mike Saha after me.
Is some form of, I'll just say some form of use moving into the next game. But no,
Let's back that up.
Is some form of, I'll just say some form of use moving into.
We have to use this as some form of use. That is correct.
The next game. But no, personally, how would I rebound? I promise you do not have to worry about that. I promise you do not have to worry about me doing the right thing and getting this team ready to play. And we weren't ready, obviously, this week or today. But the work won't stop. The right way of doing things, won't stop. But the outcome has to be different.
Coach Key, if you don't mind, what was the tone and the mood like in the locker room at halftime when you went in with a small deficit, but an unexpected deficit? What was the
It was great. We were really happy because usually the times that we've been up by 2 or 3 scores, we've kind of crapped the bed. So we were actually happy to be down to a horrible group of 5 team.
tone like in the locker room?
Yeah, before anybody met with coaches, I brought them up and said, and told them exactly what it was, exactly where we were, and they can choose to, excuse me, they can choose to linger on the first half, or we can come out and play a second game that day and do something about it. And it obviously didn't happen.
Do I think Georgia Tech got overconfident from the Wake Forest win? I don't know. I mean, I would hate to admit that that's the case, but maybe we had a good defensive showing. And I even said after that Wake Forest game, I was like, look, I'm happy with how we played, getting 5 turnovers, but it's twofold because they almost tied that game up and took the game to overtime with 5 turnovers. I mean, that's not good. Now, that being said, did I think this was going to happen? Hell no, I didn't think this was going to happen. Like I said, even at halftime, when I made that video at halftime, I still thought we were going to come back out and turn things around. Didn't happen.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.
Is this Lou trolling? No, he's not trolling us. I'm sure we'll end up on another video again, though. Overlooked Bowling Green and was looking ahead to Miami. I mean, I just feel like, how could that be the case? Like, how can, with where Georgia Tech has been, like, we think that we're in the business, or we're afforded the luxury of overlooking a team. Like, I can overlook a team. I don't play on the field, Developmental practice, all positions up for grabs. I don't know. I mean, I don't know that, again, I don't know that this is just an easy fix. I think offensively we had a really, really bad game, and we're a better offensive team than we played. But defensively, I just think we have major problems that we don't have players on our roster that are going to make big the fixes to this that need to be made. What's most curious to me is the secondary playing like they have. That's the thing that I most don't understand. Because I do, like LaMiles Brooks, I guess something's going on with him. I don't know. He didn't play last game, or he played 1 snap. I think Clayton Powlee's been hurt. He hasn't really been what he was last year. I mean, the whole secondary has struggled. I mean, we've got burnt, and it's not just like where teams have drove down the field on us passing the ball. Like, we've given up massive plays. 70, like 50, 60-yard bombs. Face Zach with a $2 Super Chat, going to try out for linebacker. I'm 6'1", 220 and can tackle. Well, Face Zach, if that's true, you need to walk on immediately. Key just talked about major changes. That could be one of them. What could I walk on and play? I mean, I played quarterback, but unless I'm going to be Lorenzen from Kentucky, then I think being 6'2" and 250 is out of the question. Yeah, put me in, Coach. Hold on. What will make me feel better is an orange sunrise monster. Discuss this amongst yourselves. Apologies. So I had to. This is what's tough when you're a parent and like things like this happen. Like I had to pick my daughter up, and like I've been trying to lose weight. 220 would be a good weight, but then this happened and I stress ate. And I got some sour Skittles, and of course when you do that, your kids get. My daughter's like, "That's not healthy," and I was like, "Yes, but Daddy is sad and he needs them." Jeff Collins was at the UGA game. Yeah, no surprise there. I guarantee you, Jeff Collins tweets something about this game. Every time Jeff Collins, speaking of taking a dump, every time Jeff Collins has an opportunity to take a dump on Georgia Tech more than he did while he was the head coach, he gladly welcomes the opportunity. Let me scroll up. What were y'all saying? I wasn't pooping. I would tell you. The awareness from the defense was laughable today. Didn't seem like they knew where the ball was a lot of the time. When we were in man coverage, there was always someone wide open. It didn't really matter whether we were in man, whether we were in zone, inverted zone, zone blitz. Didn't really matter. Sour Skittles do rock. It did make me feel a little bit better. Fire Thacker. The thing is, Cord Griggs, if we fire Thacker tonight, do you think that makes a substantial difference? Because I don't. Again, I think we need to evaluate the staff in the offseason, particularly defensively. Thacker and Faulkner got out-coached every game. It gets old. I think you're right. I think we've been out-coached in every game we've played this year. Face Zach with a $2 super chat. Anyone know Thac's Addy going to TP his house? Yeah, let's dox Andrew Thacker live on WreckTalk. It just sucks, man. It just sucks. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it is a young staff. It is a new staff. And I don't want to get in a rotation, kind of a coaching death spiral of just firing coaches and hiring them. Number one, we don't have the money to do that. We just re-signed Thack. I don't know what his deal is, but we would have to buy him out. I think at the end of the season you evaluate it. All learning, including guys like Coleman. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on with the defensive line. I mean, I really don't. And it does make you think coaching to some degree because, is it the case that Wake Forest is inferior to Boston or Bowling Green or something? Like, is Wake Forest offensive line worse than Bowling Green's offensive line? Like, why did we look so much better against Wake Forest from an upfront standpoint? And why did it wane and degrade to what we saw today? Elijah Jenkins says at WreckTalk, hey, BC, Georgia Tech, I'm sub to you and you are awesome. Keep up the incredible work. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to come on here. I mean, even when we take a loss like this. I appreciate it. Do you want me to find his contract? Yeah, Quilbert, find Thacker's contract. We should have beaten them 49-14. We should have beaten them like we did South Carolina State. That's for sure. I mean, the line was 20.5, I think. And then I made a fool of myself. I'm like, easiest money you can make. Lay the points and take Tech in that. When the truth is, you should have taken a money line on Bowling Green. Quilbert, are you some kind of like techno guru or something, or tech guru, techno guru? Are you some kind of tech guru? Are you going to do something illegal to find his contract? BC says, I mean, his press conference said it's all his fault. Yeah, and like I said, yeah, I mean, that's really all he can do is assume responsibility. What can't happen is that you say, hey, yeah, it's my responsibility and we're going to fix this, and then not fix it. That's what you can't do. And I'm not even saying that means we have to come out and be a world beater and beat Miami and North Carolina and Clemson or something. That's not what I'm saying. But you can't look like we looked today again. You can't do that. Yeah, he didn't say elite. I mean, did anyone else have issues today? Let's see, in the ACC. Notre Dame is winning 13-7. Virginia Tech beating Pittsburgh. Wow, 27-7. Clemson beat Syracuse 31-14. Boston College squeaks one out against Virginia. I was right about that one. I said don't pick Virginia until they prove they can get out of their own way. I didn't watch a second of that game, but they did give up 17 unanswered, it looks like, in the third quarter to Boston College. Boy, that sounds oddly familiar. I think, I don't know, man. We haven't developed a single quality OL or DL since Attitude and Shaq, to be honest. I mean, I think Weston Franklin's pretty good. I think that we have a lot to be excited with McKinney, the left tackle that starts for us. I think we have. I mean, I think our offensive line is okay. I don't know what to attribute today to, because it wasn't just that our defensive line couldn't get pushed. It was the same with our offensive line. Like, and this is what's embarrassing. Bowling Green got after Haynes King more. He had less time against Bowling Green than he did Louisville or any other team, even Ole Miss. The median salary is $1.1 million for a defensive coordinator. He doesn't make anywhere near 1.1. His last contract was like $400,000. BC says the problem is we get these good guys and then they transfer away money. Jared Ivey, Zamari Walton, Nate McCullum. Yeah, man, we really could use Jared Ivey or a Kilo Stone right now. That might make a difference. I don't know with how our secondaries played. Who knows? Who knows? Have they given any player press conferences or any of those out? By the way, I didn't watch Sea Dogs. What did Sea Dog say at halftime? Okay, he was up in the north stands. What he said?
I'm having to walk up all these stairs because there's innocent people down there that don't deserve to be subjected to Sea Dog when we're losing to Bowling Green, dude. We're about to be losing to them.
I sit right over here somewhere. Let me move my thing. I sit like right over here.
What is this? This is why I don't come to games, to watch the shitty Yellow Jackets play. God!
I get it.
I swear if we lose to these... I swear if we lose to them, dude. I'm getting more and more mad as I'm watching this crap, dude. This is Jeff Collins shit, dude. I thought we were past this.
That's true. That's true. Like, I don't want to admit it. It really does make you think Jeff Collins. Facts. It just does.
I thought I would cruise up in here and get to watch my Yellow Jackets cruise to an easy win. Why does everything have to be a struggle? Why can't we just come out and dominate somebody? Why can't we just play a good game of football on both sides of the ball? Why can't we just win? And they're about to score. And we haven't played one single good freaking drive on defense. And we just gave up a 1st and 25. 1st and 25, and they converted. And now it's 1st and 10.
Yeah, man, that was the case the whole game. So, Elijah, you were there. Someone I know commented and said their son was there to be recognized for like something. I don't know if that was you, Elijah.
I swear to God, they score, dude.
I mean, pretty sad turnout as well. It wasn't great, Jason. To be honest with you, it wasn't great.
Defense hold up here so we can upset Bowling Green. God dang. What is wrong with this defense, man? Was it really hinging that much on Keon and Charlie Thomas and
That's what I
Nate
said.
Seeley? Was it really hinging that much on them? And Damari Walton? I mean, they're doing whatever they want to us. They're throwing, running, whatever they want. He's got all the time in the world to make his throws. He's got all the time in the world to sit back
He has not done a post-game video, no.
in the pocket and make...
I imagine C-Dog, like, I won't call C-Dog tonight. I won't even reach out to C-Dog until tomorrow afternoon.
throws. We got one sack, and our defense is playing god-awful, and I'm furious. And I'm not in the comfort of my own home to where I can rage and freak out. I have to subject all these people to it. I don't want to do that. So I came up here where there's nobody around up here. I don't blame them. I don't blame people for not showing up to watch this shitty team. Please get this stop here. Get the stop, please.
What's going on, fools? I'm okay. I mean, what am I going to do? I have gone the route before of destroying things I own, and then I'm mad the next day because I have to buy shit I just broke. So I've decided not to go that route.
Trying to make us jump outside so we don't.
Eliza says he was in the south side of the field at the 20-yard line, about 25 rows up. So you were like over here somewhere. That's about where Tantor sits. Has Tantor put a video out?
Back, under pressure, has to throw it away. Did he caught that?
That was that freak catch, by the way, that guy made. That was the one play I can say that wasn't 100% on the defense. Dude made a circus catch, you know.
Did he caught that? God dang it! Oh! I can't stand this.
I've been here many times in my life. I've been in this very spot. Luckily, I didn't have a YouTube channel at the time. But that's how I felt as well. I left this game early. I left it when the fourth quarter started. Partly because my ex-wife was picking at me. And she found out how that's going to end when she addresses me that way in this situation.
Oh my God! We just gave up this touchdown, dude. Bowling Green just took the lead. And I'm in public, and I can't do this, man. I need to go home.
That's what I did. I just went home. And in the comfort of my truck, I was able to assault my steering wheel the whole way home and shoot birds to everyone I saw on the road. Should Bowling Green replace Georgia Tech in the ACC? I'll replace you on this earth with someone else. How about that? If you want to, you want to get me mad again? I've calmed down now. I've reached a state of reasonableness. And then B Bean. I mean, is one B not good enough for you? Can't you just be Bean? You got to be B Bean, don't you? F around and find out. You're mean. This is what happens on the internet, by the way. People pick at you, and then you respond. In fact, that's exactly what my ex-wife did today. She picked at me. She said something, and I responded. And then what do? Oh, my God. I can't believe you're being this way. Yeah. Don't pick at me when Bowling Green's beating us. Just got out of the Georgia State game. I don't think this is Sea-Dog. I don't think I'll ever recover from this. I think it has done permanent damage to me. Sea-Dog, I feel like I know the answer to this. If you would like to come on, you have the StreamYard link. It's the same as it's always been. You're welcome to come on and discuss this. I felt like I had yelled enough at other people. I needed to come on here and yell and at least, do something positive with it.
This is why I don't come to freaking Tech games, dude.
I'll go until you come on, or however long you need me to. I mean, when do you think you can? What do you need me to do, Sea-Dog? I'm here for you. What do you need me to do? I'll keep going. Tech students were literally playing poker in the stands during the third quarter. Look at the link I sent. What link did you send? Where did you send it? To my email or what? I don't even have my phone on me. Hold on. My post-game video is uploading now. My phone died earlier. I had to leave early. Damn. Well, how are you commenting? Are you using your wife's phone or something? I wish I could join the StreamYard because I got a lot of stuff I want to get off my chest about this game. Would you please play the Bowling Green University fight song? Yeah, if you leave a $100 super chat, I'll do that. How about that? I'm in downtown Atlanta and it's loud. I get it. Yeah, I'll stay on, Sea-Dog, until you're able to get on or get in your car. And we can talk about it.
We just 17-14 against fucking Bowling Green. God dang it, dude. The shittiest Bowling Green team. This is not a good team. It's not. What the hell is this, dude? And it's embarrassing.
It
You think
is.
I want to come up here and make a fool of myself and get all mad in the freaking stands? I don't. I'm not coming to any more Tech games. I'm not. God. Oh my God.
Sea-Dog, how... I imagine your interactions with Mrs. Sea Dog were interesting tonight, because my interactions with my own ex-wife were pretty poor.
If we lose this, that would be worse. That would be more. I mean, that would be as bad as NIU. It might even be worse.
Sea Dog, I said that this is the worst loss I've seen, because at least with NIU, like, we kind of had evidence and to think that, look, Collins is a clown. He is what he is. I said it's probably not going to get any better. But this year, I mean, and I'm still high on Kier. I don't think this is some death nail in Georgia Tech's coffin or anything, but it's worse because my hopes were way higher. Jack said Louisville versus Notre Dame game is sold out. It might be game day in the Ville. Well, congratulations to Louisville. I mean, I kind of thought if I just rooted for Louisville and then we could hold our own in some of these games, but I mean, it don't really matter now. What am I going to do now? Root for Bowling Green? Like, Bowling Green could win out. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't make this loss any more palatable. At least NIU won't hear or won their conference that year, and we lost by 1. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I mean, there's just nothing to glean from this. There's nothing you can take away and be like, well, at least this. At least Bowling Green's a decent group of 5 team. At least whatever. I mean, there's none of that.
Because at least NIU went on to win their conference. And we went like 3-9 that year. What is this? What is this? Are we overlooking them? I know they're not better than us.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that, Sea-Dog. I don't really see how we could be overlooking anyone this year. Like, if we overlook them, then Key, like, needs to get his stuff together. Well, I don't want to, like, watch your post-game on here because I want people to watch your post-game on your channel, but I'll definitely watch it.
They're a dog shit team. I know they're not better than us. So don't even tell me that. What's the reason for this? What is the reason? Is it because we're sleepwalking? Why are we sleepwalking through this game? We're not in a position.
I wish I could say it's sleepwalking. But you usually sleepwalk through a half or a quarter or something. I mean, it's like sleepwalking through an entire game, I don't get. Like, we got pushed around. I mean, that's where I'm just, like, at a loss for words, and I just don't understand.
Position to be sleepwalking over anyone. Defense plays god-awful the entire game. Awful. Offense looks like amazing. First 2 drives, put up 14 points, then no shows. 3 and out, over and over.
If only he knew they would go 38 unanswered.
Over. I'm about to leave, dude. I can't take this. I literally can't take
Did you leave, Sea-Dog, after you made this video?
this. I don't want to subject innocent people to this, and I don't want to make a fool of myself. And I'm not coming to watch these shitty fucking Yellow Jackets play, dude.
He's trying so hard to not unleash a tirade of basically George Carlin's 7 dirty words. And I did that. It was just in my truck.
Can't stand it. God dang. We better get it together, man. It's 2.5 minutes to halftime. We better score here. And I don't even know.
I didn't either. I didn't either. You left after the pick 6, and that was a horrible. I mean, that was just. It's not 100% on Haynes, but it is on Haynes. It was a really bad pick, and this is what really sucked about it. I mean, he was forcing things because we were down 3 scores to Bowling Green. But then after the pick 6, like, he should not have been able to take that all the way back. That was effort. That was 100% effort. Lack of effort on the offense to get back and make a tackle on the guy that intercepted the ball. We just rolled over there. And it's embarrassing. The other thing we haven't really talked about is just how, or I guess I haven't phrased it this way, but just how out of position everyone was, particularly on defense. Just way out of position. I guess we said, hey, you're not going to beat us with the long ball. You're not going to throw over the top of our safeties. But we will throw 5, 10, 15 yards at a time every time. That ball had to be thrown perfectly to get it over that corner. I don't even know that you could make that throw. Because with the amount of loft he would have had to have put on it and the velocity loss you would get from it, he still probably picks the ball off. I think I'm going to do like a complete breakdown of this game. Because I want to know exactly what went wrong. Were we in horrible schemes? Were like what's causing all of this? I just don't know. I just don't know. In the second half, I don't remember BG's running back ever touching the ground. Yeah, I mean, it did feel like we rolled over in this game. I mean, it just did. Good week to branch out and not talk about Tech 2. Yeah. I mean, I'll definitely break this game down, but I don't know. I don't know what I'll talk about next week. Because whatever I talk about, like let's say I poke fun at another fan base, they're just going to say, well, Georgia Tech sucks. Y'all got blown out by Bowling Green, which is what it is, I guess. Wreck, I'm about ready to give up. We need a miracle. Well, maybe we can dial up a miracle. I don't know. I'm not ready to give up yet. I'll tell you when I'll be ready to give up. If we lose to Boston College, I'll be ready to give up. We'll most likely get beat by Miami. If we string together 3 straight losses and lose to Boston College, I'd probably be ready to give up then. I mean, 2 wins. If we could beat Boston College, that's 3, 4 Virginia, 5 Syracuse, and then if we could beat Miami, North Carolina, Clemson, or Georgia. I mean, it's tough. It's likely. It's not likely right now we'll make a bowl. I mean, what game will we be favored in? Probably Boston College, maybe Virginia. We'll be favored in 2 games we play for the rest of the year. That's it. I don't know if a line's come out on the Miami game. Let's do the most Georgia Tech thing ever and beat the shit out of Miami. That would be. Losing to Bowling Green and then beating Miami would be very Georgia Tech. And Colby was mad at me last week. Colby's a Georgia fan, but he's a good dude. Because he was like, hey, I want to take Georgia Tech and the points against Wake. And this is what I told Colby. I said, don't ever bet on Georgia sports teams. And for sure, don't bet on Georgia Tech. If you must bet, if you're just an idiot that must bet on sports, and you know which if you bet on sports, that means like I have too much money, I need to give some of it away. If you have to do that, don't bet on Georgia Tech, because Georgia Tech is the kind of team that will lose to Bowling Green and beat Miami. And I'm not trash talking Miami at all in that. I'm just saying like that's what we do for some reason. Vegas ain't going anywhere near minus 21 for Tech again. Yeah. Like, if we are favored against Boston College or Virginia, it'll be by like one. It'll be like minus 1.5. Is what it'll be. It would be the most Georgia Tech thing to lose to BG and then win against Miami. UNC, lose to Boston College, beat Clemson. Yeah, what if we need 4 more wins. This would be the most Georgia Tech thing ever. Lose to Boston College and Virginia, but then beat Miami, North Carolina, Clemson, and Syracuse. That would be the Georgia Tech thing to do. We kind of did that last year with losing. Like, we beat Pitt, North Carolina. We beat Pitt, North Carolina, Virginia Tech, and Duke, and then lost to Miami and Virginia. We beat Virginia Tech, but we lost to Miami and Virginia. Why would Georgia Tech ever be favored again? I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but let me look at Virginia's schedule. I mean, Virginia might not win a game. Well, they've got William and Mary Tribe next week, so I imagine they can win that game. But then they'll have one win because they got North Carolina and Miami on the road before they play Georgia Tech. They'll be 1-6 when they play Georgia Tech. So that would be why they'd be favored over Virginia, even though that was a game I was sketchy in my preseason prediction on. Todd says, I promise you Jeff Collins will be on the ACC network this week trashing Tech. Has Collins been on the ACC network? Is that true? Let me collect myself with this Collins talk. Hold on. God. That guy's such a loser. Fucking hate him. And look, here's the thing. C-Dog gave me these socks today. And I didn't even get to enjoy them. I didn't even get to enjoy them. Collins is like a bad ex trying to make you jealous by showing off their new lover all over their social media after y'all break up. Who is Jeff Collins' new lover? Himself? Hey, yeah. Aren't you jealous that I'm in love with myself and not you? That's Jeff Collins. Now I'm waiting on you, C-Dog. I'm waiting. I ain't got nothing better to do. See, this is what you do instead of drinking your sorrows away, is you get on the internet and hope people super chat you for espousing your sorrows. I think that's a more beneficial use of time. I still don't see the link that you sent me, man. Hold on. You never told me, did you send it to my email? Oh, you can't post a link, by the way. I see what happened. You super chatted a bunch of times. What was your name again? Zach, I think. It will not let you post a link unless you're a moderator. So I'll make you a moderator. Hold on. Vazak, are you still in here? You can post your link. Let me make you a mod. Apparently, Ole Miss fans threw trash on the field. Well, let's go see what that's about. Well, I don't see anything recent from it. They won. Ole Miss upset LSU. Did Ole Miss upset LSU? That Quilbert, did you go to Oxford or something? Yeah, that was my experience too. So Lane finally wins a big game. That's interesting though, because Mayhem Matthew last night was telling me how great the West is. That's weird. Yeah, the Ole Miss fans treated me really, really well when I was there, other than that idiot frat boy that called me a nerd. He effed around and found out, though. Maybe not call the guy a nerd that's... Don't piss off the nerd that's 6'2", 250, maybe, though. That would be the takeaway he had. Todd, never bring up money down again. Was that the problem today? We didn't call it money down? Maybe that would have made a difference. That was the difference in the game. Yeah, I can't find a clip with them throwing. Guess what? What? Well, you had a better experience with frat guys than I did. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hold on.
On the wall and everybody's right. We have wide receiver Dominic Blaylock. We'll go ahead and open it up for questions for Paul and for Dominic. Kelly.
I will say up front, I have not been super impressed with Paul Mola this year.
Paul, you guys struggled, especially with the run defense, getting that. You had initial contact, but couldn't get the running back to the ground. Kind of what was going on?
Just got to tackle better, and that was,
Yeah, you really had issues with tackling today. What do you think you need to do? Well, so interesting you bring that up. We need to tackle better. That would be what we need to do.
emphasis for us from week one.
Is he trying to copy my facial hair, by the way? Hold on a second. I trimmed mine up a bit. Now mine's shorter.
And it's something that we need to figure out moving forward. And credit to them, number 4 for Bowling Green, running hard and running downhill. But for the most part, that's on us. We got to work on tackling technique and make sure we're driving our feet on contact. And
really good on number 4 for opposing our ability to tackle.
We didn't do that well today, so.
Dominic, you back healthy now after being out for a while.
Dominic Blaylock looks like he's 45 years old, by the way. Like, that's not a slight on him. That dude looks like a grown man.
What were you seeing with the cornerback?
As old as I am, I've got thick, luxurious hair on my head. It might be turning gray, but I've got a lot of it.
It allowed you to make a lot of those catches in front of him.
It's mainly just looking at the coverages and everything. We executed calling good play calls, and so Haynes went out there and executed it, and I just made it look pretty a little bit. But
What did he say?
Haynes went out there and executed it, and I just made it look pretty a little bit. But
What did he say?
Haynes went out there and executed it, and I just made it look pretty a little bit. But
And I just made it look pretty a little bit.
it's all about the coverages and how we were looking at it.
Paul, is there any chance that you all overlooked this team?
For sure. And that's an emphasis that we
Overlooked this team?
for sure.
He asked him, did we overlook the team?
Paul, is there any chance that you all overlooked this team?
For sure.
This is why I'm not a fan of letting athletes give interviews. Why would you admit you overlooked this team? It's not a good look. Would you say that you overlooked this team and this game wasn't really that important to you? Yeah, I mean, during practice this week, we actually we played Fortnite on our phones because we were overlooking this team.
And that's an emphasis that we made in the beginning of the week. I just don't think that, we took it as seriously as we should have.
Hate to say, that's on Brent Key. That's Brent Key's fault. If you allow your team to overlook their opponent, I mean, that's a coaching thing. And this keeps happening. Like, oh, we overlooked this team, or we think we have the game in hand. Like, I mean, can we stop doing that? I mean, you don't have to let that happen. Like, if you're the boss, then you can address that. I've been the boss of things before, right? And if I felt like something wasn't going well, I changed it. That's the advantage of being in charge.
I think moving forward that we're going to, work with the chip on our shoulder and make sure that we're, never feeling like this ever again as a defense. And
Did he listen to WreckTalk?
And never overlooking an opponent regardless of, what division they play in or what conference they play in. But yeah,
if they're ranked 122nd in offense.
This one hurts, so.
Okay.
This one's, I guess, for both of you guys. Moving into next week, you guys travel down to Coral Gables and play Miami. How do you guys reset mentally and move ahead into next week?
I guess he's going to say we're not going to overlook anyone else, and we're going to actually take the games we play serious.
We just got to look past this game. We gotta learn from our mistakes. Come out next week, practice harder. But it's mainly just.
Face Zach, there you are. Let me make you a moderator, and you can post your link. Add as moderator. Standard. Sorry, man, I'm not gonna make you managing moderator because then I think you can delete videos and things from my channel. You can post your link if you would like.
A learning state, and so we can come back stronger next week.
What's going on, TK? It is what it is. Hold on, because if I log into my Facebook, I'm gonna dox myself. So hold on. Oh, it's coming up on this screen. A look at where the defensive coordinator market stands ahead of the 2023 season. The median salary for Power 5 DC seems to be around 1.1 million. That seems high to me. But these people would know better than WreckTalk. Paul Golding took the Ole Miss job on a 3-year deal, more than $2 million per year for a defensive coordinator. Is Thacker on here? No, he's not. Okay. I see. Probably because he made like $400,000 last year. I think he signed a new deal that brought him up to like 5 or 650 or something like that.
Dom, I know you're new to this, to both of you guys are for that matter, but just kind of, do you say anything? You've been on a lot of teams, have won a lot of football games in terms of just having the right mentality in these situations and guys maybe needing to step up and that kind of thing. Is that something that you embrace, or Paul, even for you?
I mean, yeah, something that's big on this team is having leadership, always communicating when we're down, when we're up, just making sure we're all staying focused, and having good leadership is always a main key for a team.
Yeah, I think that's something that
I'll be honest with you. I don't really care about mindset, mentality. This isn't Tony Robbins, right? Like, this is what you do. You just make things real simple. Only thing you need to focus on is whatever the next thing you need to do is. F the rest of it. So if the next thing for you to do is get into your Sunday meeting, that's what you focus on doing. If you're at practice, the next thing you need to focus on is whatever the rep you're about to take is. Like, it's not like, oh, if our this mindset talk is what you hear in like scammy crypto courses or something. Like, oh man, like, you wouldn't be broke if you had the right mindset, man. No, man, you just need to go work hard. That's what you need to do. Do the next right thing. That's what you need to do.
I don't really do a really good job of is being a vocal leader. And I think after this game, I need to step into that role a bit more. Vocal leader. Yeah, I think that's something that I don't really do a really good job of is being a vocal leader. And
wow. Yeah, I'm not a good leader. I need to be a better leader.
And I think after this game, I need to step into that role a bit more and be that guy that this defense needs. So that's what I plan on doing. That's my goal for this week.
Rob.
Paul, they bounced a lot of plays outside. The contain, it didn't seem like.
I don't make my voice heard as the leader. It's kind of hard to lead without being vocal, by the way. I mean, that is just kind of synonymous with not being a good leader. I mean, you have to communicate what's going on, especially like at the money position that he plays. Like, you're kind of the quarterback of the defense. So, yeah, being more vocal would probably help.
Like it was there. Is that a matter of more guys having to pursue, even though they're not immediately involved in the play when it first starts?
I think that's just a thing that we need to work on as a defense, just effort and making sure that we're
One thing we need to work on defense is effort. Another thing I would not admit. Like, jeez. Yeah, we just don't put forth enough effort. You're making me look like crap now because I carried water on this whole effort heart issue. And now you're saying that you're not putting forth effort. I mean, that's a bad look, man.
setting edges and maintaining edges.
Yeah, I agree. This is why I don't like player interviews. If I was a head coach, I would not allow player interviews. I just wouldn't. I think it's a lose situation no matter what you do.
You know, going into halftime, that's something that we wanted to fix. And I think that's something that...
Wonder if Key give these guys a script to follow. If not, he needs to. I can't imagine coming out and saying we didn't play with effort was on the script. If it is on the script, then it we need a spin doctor or something like in politics. I mean, again, this can all be fixed. Oh, it's an NIL thing? But they get paid to do these interviews, so he gets paid to come out here and say they don't play with effort? Wow.
You know, within this next week, we're going to...
All right. The man, the myth, the legend. Sea-Dog. What's going on, man?
Hey, man. Finally getting out of here. Got to the... Dadgummit! I have the most annoying seat.
Technical difficulties.
Just finally getting out of here after the. Dude, I got this new truck and the freaking seatbelt alarm's like ding, 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 ding. Put your seatbelt. Put your seatbelt. We're like in the parking lot. Chill.
Yeah, even your truck
I
is.
don't need enough annoyances.
Well, man, I've had the opportunity to come home and settle down a little bit. If y'all guys didn't know, Sea-Dog went and watched the Georgia State Troy game as well.
Yeah, I watched Georgia State lose too.
What the hell just happened? Like, what did we just see?
Dude, I never in a million years thought this outcome could ever be possible. In a million years.
I would have lost a lot of money if someone would have bet me on YouTube. I bet you $100 that Bowling Green wins outright. I'd be $100 less right now.
Yeah. Yeah. If I had to choose, I would have bet that we covered.
Yeah.
And the first two drives, I would have felt pretty confident in my pick too.
First two drives, I was like, yeah, we're rolling.
Yeah. I mean, dude, we come out and throw first play from scrimmage. We returned it to the 50, and the first play from scrimmage, so a touchdown. I'm like, well, off to the races. Well, I wonder if that, because we talked about them earlier a little bit, talked about how they just thought they had this in the bag and didn't prepare enough. Well, I wonder if that hot start contributed to that as well. You know?
If that's true, I don't know what to make of that. So you score 14 points and you roll over for 2 hours? Like, I mean, what the hell is that?
How can you? Yeah, I can see it happening for a couple of drives, but make halftime adjustments. What are we doing at halftime?
I don't know. That's what I said. I'm like, that's what got me so pissed off. Like, is Georgia Tech the only team that can't make adjustments in the history of college football?
Exactly. And I had a bad feeling because at halftime, they looked like the better team. They looked dominant. If you take the logos off of these two helmets, you would have seen this coming from just watching the first half.
Yeah.
But I was holding out hope that we would come back. No, they dominated us from start to finish.
No, if someone would have taken the names off the stats and I didn't watch the game, I'd be like, oh, Tech dominated. Tech did that? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible. I have no explanation other than what Malala said.
Yeah, we just
they
didn't
overlooked
care.
him and didn't prepare.
I'm not a good leader, and we don't have any effort. I mean, I don't know what to make of that. Like, I kind of feel like if you play Division I college football, effort really shouldn't be like an issue. Like, I would think everyone has effort and heart and will to win.
This team has like mental issues that have been here since the beginning. I never thought it would get this bad though. And we can't know what's going on behind the scenes right now. You know?
I would love to know. I mean, my God.
We should have been tipped off whenever it kind of happened again. At the Louisville, how we choked that game. It happened again at Wake Forest. And
yep,
we got lucky. We really got lucky that we won that game. Because we could just as easily be 1-4 right now.
We could be. Even against South Carolina State, the defense showed their hand with really not being able to stop the run at all. And our secondary has been suspect. It's like the whole defense. I mean, where do you stand on the Thacker issue?
Well, I just said, look, Thacker, I mean, just let it play out. I mean, I don't really think Thacker should be fired still, to be honest. I mean, this is a piss poor effort, but like I think I still tend to think it's a personnel issue. But well, today was not a personnel issue. We have the personnel to be better than this. Okay, we
For
have
sure.
the personnel to not lose the Bowling Green. So that's not an excuse. It's a mental thing, but it happened to the offense again today too. The defense is easy to point to, but the offense played like poop too. I mean, the defense played worse. Don't get me wrong. They couldn't stop. Nothing. How many times did Bowling Green punt?
It seemed like
Once,
2 or 3 times, maybe.
Yeah. So
yeah.
the defense was absolutely atrocious this year, but I kind of still think it was a personnel. Because I mean, last year the defense was so good, and I know it's possible. I just don't think that the guys that we have now are as good as the guys we lost. I mean, we did lose a lot off that defense. You're talking about Charlie Thomas, ACLE, Keon White,
Akilo Stone, Zamari Walton.
and Zamari Walton, yeah. And I mean, I tend to think that is kind of the cause, but I mean, I understand a lot more about Thacker, about what people are saying then, and they're not playing with like heart and urgency like last year. Last year they were playing with a sense of purpose and a sense of urgency, and every win mattered, and they tried their ass off on every rep. And I'm not seeing that this year. I've seen it, at times, but like today, you come out, dude. Who do we think we are? We're Georgia Tech, dude. We just got done with the worst coach in history, and what do we think we are? Like, to be overlooking an opponent?
I mean, that's what
we're
I
not
said.
that far removed from losing to Northern Illinois.
No, like 2 years.
Yes. I cannot believe we fucking lost to Bowling Green, dude. I had to leave.
You left after the pick six, you said.
I left after the pick six in the third quarter. And this dude that I was sitting in front of called me a fair weather fan.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So that's how. So if you're wondering how that went, how my experience at the game went. Meanwhile, I'm up cheering and freaking out the whole game, and this guy is sitting there quiet, doesn't even care. Okay, it's like, yeah, you can sit there and watch Georgia Tech get absolutely embarrassed by Bowling Green. I can't even stand to watch it. That's how much I care. I can't even stand to watch it.
Well, I think had you stayed any longer, bless you, there would have been a meltdown of the century in front of however many people were around you.
This is why I don't go to games. And dude, I mean, you think I could go to Bowling Green and not have to worry about this? But I don't go to games because I chose not to go to the North Carolina game this year. Why? Because if we lose, I'll be mad. And I don't want to be in that situation around like a bunch of people. Okay? And
yeah, I mean, this is what
sucks. I feel bad.
This is what sucks about being a Georgia Tech fan right now is we were like, what were we saying? Someone just said it in the chat. We're about to be above 500 for the first time in, I don't know, 4 years. And then our defense says not so fast, my friend.
It's like you just yank it away. Any type of success that we start to have, any type of somebody said 1 step forward, 100 steps back. In the Discord, somebody said that, and it's so true. Like, why? What are we?
I mean, they don't care about our mental health. Like, we have to get on here on YouTube and eat shit for however long. I mean,
Yeah, I love that guy that calls me a fair weather fan. Meanwhile, I got to get on here now and listen to 100 people in the comments tell me how bad we suck, and Georgia fans gloating about their amazing fucking win over a doo-doo ass Auburn team. I got to listen to that. and then I got to listen to the Miami fans who have been talking to me all week, and now they're even more on my ass because I chose to defend the Jackets. I can't defend this. I can't. Okay. I've been on here for 3 years. And I've seen some bad stuff. And sometimes, and I'm a homer. Okay, like I will defend my Jackets to the death. I can't defend this. You have to give me something to work with. I feel like I'm pretty resourceful and creative with the little bit of wins that we do have and the little bit of success that we do have. Some people don't, some fans just come on here and cheer for teams that win, 10, 11, 12 games, go to the playoffs, whatever, own all their rivals. Yeah.
And
those
then
fans have a
complain
great
about
time.
it.
And they complain about it. I got to come on here, okay, and I got to think outside the box and be resourceful and really put my mind to my trash talk and my videos and everything else. But I can't do that with this. What am I supposed to do? Like, this is completely unacceptable on any level, on so many levels. Like, completely, I can't defend this at all. I'm not going to. This was horrible.
If I was the coach,
This should never happen.
we wouldn't even practice Monday. It would be wind sprints for 4 hours until someone said, "Hey, I think we're ready to give some effort now." We're gonna run until everyone on this team pukes, or until everyone on the team decides they're ready to give 100% effort.
Some people, I think, need to be weeded out, to be honest.
Yeah, if you get, we just watched that. If you get on an interview and say, "Yep, I'm not a good leader, and we need to give more effort," well, we're gonna fix that Monday. That's gonna be the first thing we're gonna do. Leave your pads in the locker room. We're gonna find out who wants to be here. We're gonna find out who wants to win. We're gonna find out who wants to get after it.
I don't care if he sucks. If he gives his effort, if he gives his 100% effort the whole time, I want him to start, okay? I don't care. I mean, this is...
Pigskin Pete wants to come in. He can come in. I mean, it's not like Clemson's been a world beater. That's fine.
Pigskin Pete doesn't usually...
It's going to be hard to trash talk us tonight. We've already said it. I mean, you're not going to say anything that I'm probably not going to agree with.
I'm going to agree with. Yeah, exactly. I mean, have at it. I agree with every word. I'll join in. This is pitiful, man. I look like a total idiot. I look like a total moron for hyping this team up all offseason. And the problem is, the worst part is that it's there. The team that I was talking about this offseason is under there. But like I said, we have these mental issues and these odd, problems that we didn't see last year. We didn't even see these under Collins. These are unique to Brent Key. Wouldn't you say?
Maybe.
I guess under Collins, we never had a lead to begin with. I guess.
Well, here's what I see. It's like when you were in kindergarten and you played red light, green light, and you all have to stop on a dime when it was red light. That's what our team is like as far as playing, offensively or defensively. Oh, red light, green light, the game started, 14 points, red light, stop. And we just never, I guess, decided to call green light. I mean, it's the damnedest thing I've ever seen.
It is. It's like we have to go, why can't we be hungry? Why aren't we hungry for some wins? I know the team was confident in their abilities. I heard from everybody. I mean, you had Zach Pyron come on the show and say 8 wins at least. I had, my brother is friends with some of the recruits. 8 wins was the word around the locker room. This shit's not happening. And their overconfidence is killing me, man.
I don't know where it
Like,
comes
where
from.
do they get this confidence from? Where do you get this from? That's the type of overconfidence that Jeff Collins used to have.
Well, being if Pigskin Pete ended his show, then he's free to come on if he would like. Recruits left after that pick six. Everyone left after the pick six. And I was talking about that, C-Dog.
Yeah.
Not only did we throw the pick, but made no effort, speaking of effort, to make a play on the guy that just picked the ball off. We let him waltz into the end zone. Was he touched? I don't think he was touched.
Yeah.
I mean, what is that?
I had to look. I couldn't. I don't even know. I had to look away. I don't even know. I can't stand to watch that shit, man. It's hard for me to watch.
No, I mean, it makes me sick, man. Like, I love Georgia Tech. I love this school. I know what the school is, you know? I know what it can be.
I love the players. I feel like I know every player. I know their stories and their, and what they're capable of, and I want them to do well. I've watched them, seen everything they do, all their behind the scenes stuff and their press conferences. And I've grown to, like really like these players. I know them all well, and I don't like seeing them just get pushed around and humiliated, dude.
Well, yeah, like we've talked to some of their families. Like I feel like this year I know some of these players like on a somewhat personal level, and it sucks, man, because I do love these kids. I do want the best for these kids. You know, like they deserve it, but I mean, here's the thing with like what you deserve. It don't make a shit what you deserve. It's what you're willing to work for and go out there and take and earn. And I'm not seeing it.
There's nothing handed out. You got to take it. And it's so mind blowing to me. How can you not be hungry? Like, I was watching the South Carolina State game. We had 40. I was not satisfied with 40 whatever points. I wanted to keep going. I wanted to see if we can get 50, 60. I'm not satisfied. I'm hungry for more. Are they not?
Well,
are they not tired of being pushed around for all this time? And been the laughing stock and been the punching bag? Are they not wanting to dominate and just? I mean, I thought that after the Louisville game, like this would be fixed. I never thought it would get worse.
Well, yeah. What more needs to happen for this team to say, all right, enough?
This is it. No, this is it. There's literally no more of a rock bottom. This is probably the most embarrassing loss in Georgia Tech history. I mean, this is worse than any Collins loss I can think of.
Well, like with the Citadel, for example, that was year one of transitioning.
That was year one
out of the triple option.
Yes, out of the triple option, and we had a shitty roster.
NIU is a way better team than that when we played them than when we just played.
We lost by one.
Yeah.
I mean, we get blown out by a horrible Bowling Green team.
Yeah, I mean, I said it. Look, the score was 38-27. It wasn't that close, though.
No, it wasn't.
What's going on, Mojo? Mojo, can you remember a worse loss than this? Mojo, I would love for you to come in, by the way, and maybe explain, because you understand the locker room in a way I never will, because I was never a part of one.
We can't know. I mean, but at least Morello spelled it out for us, really. I mean, there's no other explanation. There's no other possible reason other than that we overlooked them and didn't prepare and didn't take them seriously. There's no other reason than that, because I know they're not more talented. They're not better. They're not better coached. They're not any of that.
This link is for Mojo. Okay. If any of, like, I want to hear from people, but specifically I want to hear from Mojo. If I see you in the back room and you're not Mojo, I'm not going to let you in right now. I want to hear from Mojo because I want an explanation for how we have players saying, yeah, we're just not, the effort isn't there. Like, did you ever experience that, Joe, when you were playing, where it's just like, yeah, we just need more effort? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And I defended it when people were saying no heart, no effort, because I cannot compute not being competitive and not giving your all for something. Like, to me, that's kind of like what being a man is, right? Like, or just being a competitor. Like, you want to be the best at what you do, and you were willing to work for it. Like, I can't defend that, though. What Mola said, I can't defend.
As soon as the Tech game ends every week, I'm dying to see us play next week. I'm dying to.
Who? Mola?
Me.
Oh.
As soon as the Tech game ends, I can't wait to watch us play again. Can they not wait to play again? Is that not to add to what you said?
Yeah, you get 12 opportunities a year to do this.
Yeah.
And that might be all we get this year. I said, like, if we play like we played today, and I'm sure you'll agree, we won't win another one.
No.
Virginia will beat us. Boston College will beat that effort, that level of play.
Yeah, Boston College and Virginia, absolutely 100% can beat us. And in the offseason, all these people said, I don't know, all these people said that we could lose to these teams. Well, that's just because they thought we weren't good enough. And we're good enough to kick all these teams' ass. It's just, can we get out? It turns out it's us getting in our own head and overconfident for no reason. What's there to be overconfident about? You've proven nothing.
Yeah, you've proven that there's not a lead big enough for you to put a game away. There's not enough times a team can turn the ball over that can ice a game for you. And I see what Face Zach is saying. If Tech lets Miami score more than 40, it's over for Thacker. I don't necessarily agree with that. What I'm looking for, it's not even how many points they score. It's, can you tackle? Can you put forth effort? Can you attack the ball? Can you play somewhat fundamentally sound? Because we're at the point now where throw everything else out the window. Can you just get back to fundamentals? Tackling.
That's another thing. I never want to see these godforsaken black watch uniforms again.
Well, that was one thing I was right about. F those uniforms.
I never want to see them again. I mean, last time we wore them, we got blown out by Notre Dame. Fine, Notre Dame's really good. But, like, not blown out by Bowling Green. No.
Slim says Miami's been very good at breaking tackles this year. I saw that too. I was on the phone with you, Slim, when I was looking at some of their film. If there's not major improvements made, yeah, Miami will break more tackles than there are grains of sand on the beach. Mojo, what's going on?
Hey. It's been a rough day from Mojo, I'll be honest with you.
Both your teams lost today. That's devastating.
Mm-hmm.
Were you at the Georgia State game?
No. I'm actually out of town this weekend, so I just packed. I had my Georgia Tech gear I was wearing all afternoon, and then I switched over, and maybe I'm the jinx. I don't know, man.
This ain't on you, Mojo.
Sometimes I feel that way.
I will not let you take responsibility when it's not your fault. But I would like to know, because you've been in locker rooms, and I don't necessarily want to harp on it, but I can't help it that we have a linebacker come out and be like, yeah, we just haven't really been putting forth the effort. Can you make sense of that? Like what? Like
Like
And Jalen King admitted in the Louisville game that they thought they had it won at the halftime. So this is recurring.
Yeah, I mean, just being honest with you, no. Like, and I want to give the guy credit. You know, maybe he wasn't thinking about what he said in the post game presser, but
Sure.
you never come out of the locker room, or you never just don't put forth effort. Like, that's not something as a D1 athlete that you should ever enter into your mind.
Yeah.
Now, something that desperately or that seriously concerns me after today, though, is you don't. It's not that the team isn't putting forth effort, but when you lose and lose consistently or lose big games like this where you're supposed to go out and dominate, it all of a sudden it starts becoming a mindset of that's the expectation. I'm going to go out and you may mentally think you're putting in effort, you're doing that, you're going out trying to win, but in the back of your mind, first time they go up by a touchdown, first time you get a turnover, whatever it is, all of a sudden you're thinking, oh well, here we go again. This is our team, and I am so worried that,
Yeah.
that's today's loss sets that kind of mindset.
Yep. How do you recover from
this?
How do you recover from such a devastating loss?
Well, it's going to be on Brent Key, because I thought this after the Wake Forest game. Like, I was so happy we won that game, and I thought we didn't play poorly, but when you're 4-1 in the turnover margin, that should be, if not a blowout, a very comfortable win.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're driving at the end of the game to tie it up it should have raised all sorts of alarm bells. And I thought, based on Key's post-game statements, it sounded like he got that. I thought he was going to be on them like white on rice this week. But apparently either that wasn't the case, or it certainly wasn't the case for the defense. Like, defense, I was shocked at how bad they did, but it's not like the offense played lights out either. So I definitely don't think Brent Key should be fired. I think it'd be premature to go calling for anything like that. But I am going to have to see something from him now. Like, he had a whole bunch of goodwill. You know, I could accept games like Louisville. I could accept games like Ole Miss. I cannot accept getting boat raced by goddamn Bowling Green. A 1-3 Bowling Green team.
Unacceptable, yeah. PR Sports, what do you want me to do? You say y'all are still crying. What do you want me to do? Come in here and talk about how great we are? I mean, you might be the dumbest person on the internet that comes in here is spamming 2 and 10. Two numbers you can't count to.
It's like a little kid. Don't worry about him. What do you think about Thacker? Everybody wants his head.
I mean, my gut reaction would be, yeah, I'd love to see it. I don't know if it's financially prudent at this point in time, but it kind of seems like Thacker, like I think like most people thought after last year, oh, maybe he was getting micromanaged. Maybe there was, maybe he is that good because the defense stepped up a lot last year after Collins left. But he has shown me nothing. And granted, we lost some guys. We lost a couple of linebackers, and we lost Makilo Stone and the cornerback that went to Ole Miss. But we didn't lose anybody that would justify how bad the defense performed today.
Yeah.
Like, especially after.
I think it's a mental thing. I mean, like you said, there's no other way though that we could possibly have lost to them. They don't have better athletes.
Yep.
I mean, it's a mental thing. And I think that it is with the defense too. And like you said, there's no leader on the defense. We lose, Charlie Thomas, and somebody's got to step up, and they haven't filled that, and that's kind of where
That's absolutely right. And tackling, like it's not like we're getting out schemed all the time. We're just not making tackles. How many we made that running back look like Tiki Barber out there. We made him look like an absolute monster. And I'm not taking anything away from the Bowling Green guy. I'm sure he's not a bad athlete, but he damn sure wasn't as good as we made him look. Just running over our linebackers like he was.
Well, I mean, Ohio had no trouble holding their offense to 7 points. Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, 438 yards is what they had. I mean, they outgained us 438 yards. It felt like more than that. I thought they would add 500. It's just head scratching because the offense, it kind of takes away from how poor I felt like our offense played today. We were 2 for 8 in third down efficiency. So it does. This is what's so heartbreaking. It does seem like something systemic. Like it's not just one thing you point to and say this is the solution. That's what scares me.
Yep. And third down efficiency had been something that we had really improved on over last year in the last few games. Like, granted, we're not making 70% or anything crazy like that, but I think it was over 50% through Wake Forest, and that's what you need to have as a good, consistent offense. And it's just unreal. And I do think, this is going to be a big test for Key, because as a head coach, you have to take control of that locker room. And right now, the deck's stacked against him, because we go out against Miami and they jump out to a 14-point lead. I guarantee you, they won't want to be thinking about it, but in the back of their heads, they'll be thinking, okay, well, this is what we do. And Key has got to break them of that. And the way you do it is by, one, having hard practices. I'm not a fan of beating people down, but when a team is performing like they performed today, it means they're one, thinking too much. They got inside I feel like they got inside their heads after the first two touchdowns, when all of a sudden Bowling Green decided to start hitting back. Instead of thinking, okay, it's whatever, this is a decent opponent, we're going to go out and we're going to play our game. All of a sudden, I guarantee you they were thinking, oh no, is this something that's good? Is this a game we could lose? Is this something that could happen? And if you let a team get to thinking that way, if you don't have a strong control over the locker room and over the mindset of your players, this sort of thing is going to keep happening. So I'm not saying we need to go out and beat Miami, but we damn sure better play a hell of a lot better than we played today. That's all on Key.
Let me ask you this. Was there a similar monkey on your back you felt like as a team when you played, where I'm even thinking of maybe the Georgia game where you were able to come out on top? We hadn't beat Georgia in probably 8 years when we won in 2008. Was there any time in your playing time you felt like you had that feeling like, oh, this isn't in our control, this is this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'll be honest, never at Tech. And and you've heard me talk about Paul Johnson. I'm not a huge fan of the guy, but the way we were conditioned, it was never about, okay, can we win or lose? It was more like, I know my assignment and I have to do this. Yeah. This is the only thing I'm thinking about is doing this play. And I'm, by the end of the game, if it's a blowout like some games, by the end of the fourth quarter, yeah, okay, we're not going to score 3 touchdowns real quick. But especially every time, at least through halftime, through the third quarter, you're not thinking about, oh, this doesn't look good. Oh, this doesn't look like this and that. You're just thinking, okay, I have a job to do, and that's the only thing I can focus on.
That makes sense of taking Like, you should be focused on your job to a point where you're not even thinking about that. Because thinking about, oh, this feels like this other thing, this feels like Louisville, is correct me if I'm wrong. I've never claimed to be a Division I athlete. That's kind of a fan mindset more than a player mindset to me.
Yeah, and they seem a lot of the time in like post-game press conferences. I know you can't ever get everything out of those, but the players, they act like that. They repeat that stuff, but they obviously don't believe it or follow it. It's like they say that, and the reporters are trying to get them to talk about the human aspect of it, where you relate it back to other things, and they say, no, we don't think about last week, or we don't think about ahead. We just think about what is in front of us. And then that's a lie. You're lying to us now, and it's frustrating. I at least appreciate when they come out and tell the truth in the post-game press conferences. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yep. So and RecTalk, I think you hit the nail on the head. You could, as a player, you cannot adopt a fan mindset.
Yeah.
Like, you're there to do a job, and that's the only thing you can look at. You can't think about, oh, how is this going to affect our bowl prospects? How's this going to this feels just like the last game. You have to be tunnel visioned as to what you're doing, because the minute you start thinking like a fan, all this, the doubt's going to creep in, and you're going to be much more into momentum. Like, if things start breaking against you, it's going to get in your head. And if you want to be successful, you absolutely cannot have that headspace.
Yeah.
So that's a great way to describe it.
I see what you're saying. See, Mojo played for Paul, so I feel like he's earned the right to say whatever he wants about Paul Johnson. But I mean, I will say this. As far as how he treated players, I can't speak to, but I do think Paul was good at focusing a team on just what you're talking about. Like, look, if we get in these situations in games and you're playing right guard, the only thing you should be thinking about is what is your next assignment. All right, I'm pulling. That's all I'm thinking about. I mean, because that's all I can control. I mean, what you boil it down to, what can you control? Well, you can do your assignment. You can make your block. You can make your read. And then the rest of it's going to be whatever it is. It ain't on you.
Yep. 100% right. And you got to have a short memory, because if you're thinking about how this went last week, or you screwed up on the last play and you're thinking about that, well, you're going to screw up the next play. You have to be focused on what's in front of you and what your job is. So if Key is the coach I think he is going to find a way to instill that in these players. Because if he doesn't, like that, today was the sort of game that if he doesn't have a strong grip on that locker room, this is the sort of thing that can get out of hand, and all of a sudden it becomes a domino effect. We lost today, so we're thinking about that next week against Miami. We're thinking about the next week against Boston College, and it just compounds over and over again. So we'll have to see, but this is a big issue.
Yeah.
I mean, he had my goodwill, but he burned through a lot of that with how bad we came out and played today.
Yeah. What are you saying, C-Dog? Oh, you were about to say something.
I'm curious to see how we're gonna are we going to proceed from here? It's like this is a crossroads, I think, and it's like, are we gonna let this beat us? Are we gonna get beat by them over and over and over again? Or are we gonna rally and try to make what we can out of what we got? And we don't have an easy opponent, so we have it cut out for us too, because we're 99% probably going to lose to Miami. Can you, like you said, do your assignment and fix these mental mistakes and overcome that stuff, and even in a loss? I don't know. it's going to be very, very hard task.
Well, yeah, I think it's like a choice you make, though. Like, hey, you got a choice. You can roll over. You can play into we're just not a good team and we can't win games in certain situations or whatever. Or, I mean, you can do exactly what Mojo said. You can boil it down to next right thing and improving as not only a player but a man. I mean, life ain't any different. You know, I mean, life is not any easier on a guy than I think playing football. And we all get in these situations where it's like, yeah, things are not going our way right now. Well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? We're going to find out.
Yep. Exactly right. And like I want to see a win against Miami next week. I still don't think it's outside the range of possibility because I've seen how good this team can play. Haynes King is a beast of a quarterback when he has time to throw the ball. We have sick receivers. We got great running back in Jamal Haynes. The offensive line has improved as the year's gone on up until this game. And we have a team that could pull it together and have a good season. Like I don't think we're going to be outclassed by too many of our ACC opponents just based on natural talent, but it's going to be a mindset thing. And if this team gets if they start thinking they're defeated, or if they just start throwing in the towel like we did under Collins there in his last year and a half, it's going to be a long year.
Yeah. Let me put to rest this. I see people talking about academics in the chat. It's Bowling Green. It's Bowling Green. All right. So if it doesn't have what happened today don't have nothing to do with academics. All right. And I'm the first guy to come on YouTube and talk about the academic standards at Georgia Tech and what it is. That ain't got nothing to do with today, though. So let me just put that to rest.
Yeah, that's just cartoonish, man. I mean, there are good teams in the G5, but we're not playing App State. We're not playing JMU. It's Bowling Green. They got one win on the season, and it came against like Eastern Indiana, the no names.
Polytechnic, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Like I mean, shoot. Yeah, academics is not an excuse for what happened today. I don't think it's an excuse ever, to be honest with you. I think like this academics is definitely an extra hurdle that Tech has to get over, but it can be done. Academics weren't any easier in 1990,
Yeah, I mean, and like if you want to talk about recruiting and challenges, fine. But as far as no matter what your academics are, I think you should be able to handle Bowling Green. I mean, that's just my opinion on it. I guess we lost C-Dog.
I said we lost C-Dog, which I wanted to ask him if he made it over to the state game because I heard in his he did. Oh, God, I feel for him. At least it was a different sort of loss, but equally, if anything, a different sort of pain. I don't know. Did you watch any of it?
No, man. Like it was kind of crazy once I got out of the game as far as what I had going on. What happened with that?
So it boils down to we were driving with about 8 minutes left, down 7-21, and hadn't been a bad day. We've just had a couple of turnovers, and guy catches the ball at the 5, and they call it a touchdown.
Sorry, I lost connection for a minute.
Good to have you back. But yeah, so a guy catches it at the 5, dives for the end zone. They call it a touchdown. They come back and review it and say, oh, he stepped out of bounds at the 2. And so we're at the 2 with 8 minutes to go. And run one play, get stuffed, run another play, and Granger goes to pitch the ball, fumbles it, and Troy recovers it. And that was like the 3rd or 4th turnover of the game for State. Yeah, and And from there, they just ran the clock out. But man, it was just like a gut punch going from okay, we just tied the game with 8 minutes to go, and we had a full complement of timeouts to turnover, and I think they just ran the clock out. I don't think we ever got the ball back.
There were a few explosive plays that got called back too, which was kind of killer for y'all.
Yeah.
Not a good.
I was at the game. It was crazy. I hadn't been to Turner Field since they renovated it to be decked out in Georgia State stuff.
I said, what'd you think?
It was cool. It was like you could tell it used to be a baseball stadium because they took half of it. Half of it's like inaccessible, and they put visitors bleachers over there, and it was just funny. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool. There was some cool scenery, and especially when you first walked in, and you see the huge Georgia State like logo letters and the top stands that are closed off now because they'll never get filled. But yeah, there's tons more seating that than you could ever use. But when spider, sorry, almost got attacked by a spider. When you first walk in and you see the big platform and you can walk out and see the whole field. It's really cool.
Are you in the woods, Sea Dog? People want to know.
Oh yeah, I'm in the woods. Yeah.
Also, I want to address, and I'm not picking on you, Sea Dog 18, but this is my thing with a lot of this. Just fire everyone, clean house. What is your end game with that, though? Okay, so we fire everyone. Then what? Then what are you gonna do? Okay, we
already did. I mean, we fired.
we just did that. We're $300 million in debt. So now let's pay out another, $20 million worth of contracts or something. Then who are you gonna hire? Like, does Thacker maybe need to go at the end of the season? I don't know. It's not something that needs to be decided right now. I don't think, but I don't think that's the solution. I don't think it's that simple either, Mark. It's not the coaches, it's the players. It's coaches too. I mean, there's some kind of systemic problem. You're going to get me worked up again. I've settled down. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah. It's not all on the players. This is not like when Collins first got here and we're trying to run a pro style offense with triple option players. Like we are. I would say we're not any less talented than Duke, or maybe they have one or two extra guys, but they're not blowing people out of the water with their recruiting classes. And we all see what Duke's doing this year. So while I'll agree, we don't have a whole bunch of 5 stars. Like the way things happen today is 100% on the coaches for not having that team prepared.
I'll tell you what I think about that. Let me take it to a very Georgia Tech take. That's like having a differential equation you need to solve and be like, we just need to add better. If I could add better, I could solve this differential equation that has 40 steps to it. Like, I just don't think it's that simple of a solution. Okay, fire this guy. It's all the players. It's all the coaches. This is a multivariable problem. Calculus 3. Multivariable calculus problem, and I don't think it's that simple. We'll see though.
Oh yeah,
and I understand wanting some kind of retribution after this. I feel like I'm entitled to compensation after having to sit through that. So I understand. I understand the people who are like wanting blood, but it's like I don't know. I mean, clearly I'm very emotionally unstable myself. Like I can't even stand in the stands and watch us lose, a game that we should be winning without having a mental breakdown and having to leave. But even I realize that it's not a good idea to just fire everybody. I'm even still, holding pat kind of on my opinion on Thacker. I mean, it's not like I mean, I've seen what we can do, you know, and any other. I know that it's like frustrating because we were hoping that Key has the continuity, but you know, any other coach, you would be giving a ton of leeway here in his first year, you know, because you got to get your own recruits in there and your own mindset instilled. He's got to instill his own culture. I mean, he knows that this isn't right. He knows that this isn't, you know, but these are largely still Collins players, and I mean, it's got to be changed, and I think it will change, but probably over time, you know.
Can I just get a pair of socks and enjoy the socks? Can I just enjoy my socks when I get a new pair without all of this nonsense?
I'm still wearing mine.
I took them off.
I gotta, and what's sad is that Section 103, bless their hearts, sent me a Haynes King shirt, and I was gonna, do a cool video, promote them. I was so looking forward to just Haynes King throwing a million pitiful Bowling Green, and then I would come out with a video about how good he is.
Yeah.
Now I've got to come up with something. I've got to shout them out for sending me this King shirt and promote the brand. Shout out Section 103, by the way.
They're awesome.
And it's funny because I had several people comment about Georgia Tech. I was wearing my Haynes King shirt to the Georgia State game. Several people comment about Georgia Tech. One guy was like, "I gotta ask, man, what happened tonight?" I'm like, "I can't even."
Your guess is as good as mine. That's what I'd say. I mean,
yeah, dude, yeah.
They said Thacker made 0 adjustments, but it's not just Thacker that like the adjustments across the board are a problem. So like Thacker is a part of that problem.
Offense didn't do good either. And good Lord, what in the hell is going on with special teams? I mean, what happened was it? I looked away and missed it, but we were punting and then it they blocked it or we fumbled it or something.
It got hit by a protector. Did you see that, Mojo? I don't know. 2 people blocked my view because they decided they had to pee
I
or
actually
something.
didn't see that.
I mean, I'll be happy when Shanahan is done. Okay, I don't know what like.
Well, I don't like left-handed or footedness, period. But yeah, I mean, first of all, the punt he did get off was like this sidewinder. What I mean, how far did that punt go? 15 yards?
It's every single one with him. It looks like it's about to be blocked. It looks like it's within a hair of being blocked. It stresses me out every single time.
My doctor told me to stop watching us punt. He's like, it's not good for you.
I can't take it. And then we come back and score after the pick 6 and freaking get the PAT blocks. I didn't hear it. I was gone by then, but I heard it from the outside. I was filming my video.
They blocked an extra point. Well, that's why we didn't have 28, I guess. That explains that mystery to me.
Yeah, they blocked the PAT. Yep.
I was wondering about that because I did not see the extra point attempt.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
I don't know what a Dylan's Burger is or what you're talking about. Are you a Florida State fan? You going to talk about Robert's Restaurant now? What are you talking about? So, yeah, I mean, to me, that's just rolling over, though. Like, you get an extra point block when the game is you're getting manhandled. Like, I mean, what that seems like an effort thing, too, to me. I don't know.
And I was like, one thing that stood out to me that really irked me was, I think it was first half. It may have been second half, but at a certain point, we were 3rd and 1 in there, deep in the red zone, and we tried a quarterback sneak, got stuffed, and lined up, tried to draw them off sides, which I
didn't work.
Absolutely. Yeah, hating that situation. Cause I think it was in the second half because we burned a timeout to do it.
Yeah.
We burned that timeout.
Crazy.
And what we did after that timeout? We ran another quarterback sneak.
Yeah.
Like, if it didn't work the first time, there wasn't a whole bunch of push. It wasn't like it was, something that, the quarterback just tripped and that's why he didn't get it the first time. They stuffed us up front, and to just go back and say, okay, we're gonna do it again.
Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, that's another thing. Like, the offensive line has played great all year, gave up 1 sack all year, and Haynes Key's got time all over the place and everything. And today it seems like he's running for his life. And we give up sacks and the pocket collapses. And I mean, it was a horrible showing every single stage.
All phases.
Everyone. I mean, we couldn't get the run game going. I mean, dude.
That's what I was saying. Like, what happened at practice this
sad.
week? Like, I feel like something had to have shown in practice this week that made you think something is not right. Something is going on here.
They practiced for Miami for 2 weeks, so that means that we're gonna come out and we're gonna beat Miami.
I think that's the takeaway from this game. The takeaway from this game is we are going to beat Miami next week.
Is Miami is doomed because we totally were looking ahead of them.
That's the only thing that would explain how unprepared our defense was for their offense this week. If we just didn't prepare for them at all, we said, okay, they're bad, so we're just going to look at Miami the whole time, which I don't think they did, but
that's what we're going
based on the product. Yeah.
That's the only sensible thing to say. I mean, either one of you guys, are there any takeaways from this game that are positive?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, like it's.
No.
I mean, started out strong. Like the first 2 drives looked great. Like just got chunk plays and all that. So that's something. But when you score 2 touchdowns in the first 6 minutes and then don't score again until the fourth quarter, it's never good. But that's.
We're going to be the only
halfway positive thing I could say.
We're going to be the only fan base that, like, we go up by 21 points and we're all, like, cussing, like, oh, man, this is awful. This is horrible. That we have no shot in this game. But then it goes the other way now. If we get down big, we can't do anything. So I guess it has to be a tie game, the whole game. I don't know.
We slightly trail. We slightly trail the whole game.
Yeah, that's our game plan.
Yeah. That's about it. Because the thing this needed to be a statement game, and it looked like it was going to be for about 6 minutes.
It was a statement, all right.
Yeah.
We did make a statement today.
Yep. Our new goal is to just make a bowl somehow.
Man, it's going to be tough.
Mean, I seriously doubt it. I mean,
certainly going to be a lot harder now.
Fucking cats.
Nothing's going right today. You got the cats coming after you. Jeff Woodward says play all our
Cats
games
are
on the road.
freaking out. Hey, quit screwing around.
You guys screw around too much. Well, I mean, I know we still have like 70 people in here, but it is getting close to midnight. I know we probably all need to recover somewhat, collect our thoughts, make appointments with our therapist, and I mean, it's like I need to shout this out of my head, like, get out of there.
Yep. Just gonna woosah, wake up, and hopefully this was all a bad dream.
Luke says, I thought your goal was to win 6 games this year. Y'all were delusional. You better hope we don't beat you, by the way. You better pray to whatever God you believe in.
It doesn't matter how bad we suck, dude. It does not matter how bad we suck. We can still beat the shit out of North Carolina. Sucked last year, beat them. Sucked the year before, blew them off the field. I wouldn't run my mouth if I were you, son. Get to bed.
We'll go to midnight. Met Q, I'll take your suggestion. We'll go to exactly midnight.
Past your bedtime.
The uniforms were cool. Man, I didn't like the uniforms from the cut.
Never wear those shits again, dude. Tired of getting blown out in those. You're supposed to be honoring. What's funny is you're supposed to be honoring the Blackwatch defense
Yeah.
back in the day. It was like apparently this badass freaking defense. Well,
Don't give up 440 yards
couple
to
years
Bowling
ago-
Green.
a couple years ago, we busted them out against Notre Dame. Give up a ton of points, whatever. I mean, this game we're playing bowling, and still, like, stop wearing that shit. Players are screwing around too much and wearing that shit. It pisses me off.
Now, I do agree.
What stage of grief are you guys at? I'm still in denial. I can't fucking believe we lost to Bowling Green.
I'm in bargaining.
Like almost losing to them is bad enough, but actually losing to them, there's no way, dude. I never thought in a million years.
Yeah, I mean,
not only that, but getting blown out.
Yeah.
I mean, I was expecting to cover. I took Tech at the minus
too.
21.
I did too. I looked over at David, right, the dude we were hanging out with today.
Yeah, Dave. Yeah, David.
I was like, you think we drop after that first play? I was like, hey, dude, you think we drop a 60 burger today on them? Yeah, what a joke. I bet that's what they were saying on the sidelines, too.
I'm glad you asked about the stages of grief. Anger was really intense. People around me found that out. What is it? Anger, denial. Or is it denial first? Denial, anger, bargaining, acceptance. Hey, you like that? WreckTalk knows a thing or two. I am in bargaining right now. Now I'm like bargaining with our schedule. Or maybe by some miracle we can beat North Carolina and maybe Clemson. I'll even take a loss to someone else if it's not going to happen. A 60 burger. They like that in the chat. Yeah, we're going to give up
60 burger.
60 yards of play if that's what you meant by 60 burger.
I seriously looked over at the dude and I was like, man, you think we drop a 60 burger? I'm like, hell yeah. So I thought it could be a 70, honestly. A 2-piece combo and a drink.
When was the depression? I might have skipped depression. Anger might have gone so long that it like killed the depression. I don't think I was. Depression is probably going to come right before I go to bed, honestly.
Well, the stages of grief, then you're depressed throughout the entire process, right?
Yeah, I feel like I'm hiding the depression.
Yeah, it's the stages of grief. So you're grieving you're grieving while you're in denial. You're grieving, bargain, anger, everything else. So.
Well, I feel like maybe I'm in acceptance, to Chris S.'s point, because I did get on here and talk about it. I feel like that is a form of acceptance that I've even acknowledged this for like 2 hours now. How long have we been on? Or have I been on?
Close to 3.
3 hours and 15 minutes. That's acceptance.
I don't think I will ever recover from this. Like, I've lost so much trust in what I thought that we are. Like, no lead will ever be big enough. Like, this has done permanent, irreversible damage to my.
I feel like Tiger King when that tiger ripped that woman's arm off, and he comes on and says, "I will never financially recover from this. I will never mentally recover from this." That's where I'm at.
I will not ever. This is horrifying. I'm traumatized. I hope the players are traumatized too. I said that after the Louisville game. Apparently, they didn't get the message.
Oh man, I don't know. I do think depression is to come, because now I know for like the rest of the season I have to eat shit for this, and damn Georgia Tech for putting me through that. I haven't had to go through. I haven't been on YouTube as long as Sea Dog, so I haven't had to go through that yet. But I'm about to.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah.
It ain't no good. Ain't no fun.
Actually, speaking of positives out of today, shout out to all the people I got to see.
Oh, hell yeah, for sure.
I got to see a bunch of cool people today at the game. That was fun. Sorry we didn't get to do a tailgate. I promise I tried my hardest.
Did you put forth the effort at least to do it?
I tried so hard and got so far, but at the end it didn't matter. But I did get to see a bunch of cool people. So
All right.
it didn't even matter.
It was a good pull, C-Dog.
All right, we've made it to midnight, guys. I appreciate you all for coming on. I appreciate you all for showing up and sharing in my grief and misery. Thank you guys for all the super chats. Y'all have a good night. And even now, if no one's told you today you're feeling down, at least WreckTalk loves you. You can chalk that up to a win. We'll see you guys later.
All right. Go Jackets.
Oh my God.